Chat. Chat. We're back, chat. We're back. Guess what? GameStop hasn't moved. What a surprise! Today was supposed to be the big day. Oh, man. This is why you don't follow people on social media, bro. Unknown! What's up, Unknown? How you doing, bro? How you doing, bro? Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. It's Friday, so no earnings, sadly. Whoops. My computer is lagging. Flat weeks got me feeling meh. The price action of the stock shouldn't make you feel anything, bro. Just saying. You should be happy the stock isn't moving. You can buy more. But in general, if you dictate your feelings off of the stock market, you should probably fix that. That's not a good way to live. The stock market shouldn't dictate how you feel. Like, how would you feel if this stock didn't move for the next 2 years? You know, I'd be okay with it, personally. I don't think a lot of other people would, but I would be. I'd be perfectly fine if this stock didn't move for the next 2-3 years. Oh, now this is the stock market, my friend. This is the stock market, my friend. You might want it to happen, but that's not how it works. It could go down. It could go back to $13, back to shareholder equity. So I would just try not to focus on it too much. We're in it for the long haul. Even if it does go up, like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sell? Like, it's not really, if you're planning on selling, I don't know. I'm not planning on selling anytime soon. So even if it does go up, like, that would suck. Like, straight up. I don't know why people want the stock to go up, honestly, because then you just have to buy shares at a higher price. Like, that sucks. I'd rather it sit at this price for fucking ever, honestly. I'd rather just have it sit here. But that's just me, I guess. I don't know. I don't really plan on selling, so the stock going up isn't really beneficial to me at this point. I'll buy more too, exactly. What's up, Muma? Amazon got better and better while the stock price got worse and worse. That's what I want. Yeah, exactly. And realistically, the only reason the stock price is down is because of the bonds and the warrants. The stock would be trading at $30 if it wasn't for that. So if you really think about it, the stock's at $30. It's just, you know, nobody wants to look at it that way, which is fair, I guess, but the stock is worth $30. It's in my mind, the stock is trading at $30. So I don't know. And I'd rather buy shares at 20, not 30 or 40 or 50. I'd rather continue to buy shares at 20. And then, you know, look at Tesla. Look at Tesla. How long Tesla sat and did nothing. And then just out of nowhere, boom, Tesla nuked. Now, you know, I wouldn't want to buy Tesla shares. So it's like, once the stock starts going up, it's actually going to suck because it's not going to be as good of an investment. At this price and lower, it's a solid investment. Once it hits 30, 40, I mean, it'll still be a pretty solid investment at those higher prices, but the higher GameStop goes, the less interesting of an investment it is. So, I mean, just, you know, try to make money. Try to put more into the stock, and we'll see what happens. You know, the more you can put in the stock at these low prices, the more exponential the upside's gonna be. Even if it never, like, squeezes or anything like that, If you have, you know, like 2 or 3,000 shares right now, and you could get to like 5,000 shares potentially, or even 4, you're going to benefit from the upside more, you know? Like, what is the math? So, like, say if you had 100,000 and it went up 10%, that's 10,000, right? I mean, theoretically, like, I don't actually know how much people have in this stock, but what if you could build to 100,000 and a 10% move could be 10,000? You know, that's exponentially better than like having 50,000 in the stock, or, you know, less, and hoping for like 100% move or something, because, you know, 100% move on 10,000 is 10,000, so that's not very great. But 50,000, you'd have to have 20% move to make 10,000. So the more shares you have, the greater, you know, you're going to benefit from the upside. So that's a good way to look at it. I don't know. Just in general, like, the stock market shouldn't dictate how you're feeling, though, because it doesn't matter. Like, it's just fucking numbers on a screen. They had to wait until the Model 3 production got ironed out, though. Debatable. Very debatable. We're talking about the stock market. You can say whatever you want about the business. This is the stock market. We're in the stock market. This isn't, you know, GameStop is better than it's ever been, and the stock price hasn't moved. Like, obviously, the business has nothing to do with the stock price. I think that's very clear at this point. This is the stock market. You can say what you want about why Tesla moved, but the reality is Tesla ranged for years, broke out, and the stock price went up exponentially. That's what happened. You can say whatever you want about Tesla's business, but this is the stock market. Not the business is doing great, so the stock price has to go up, or the business is doing terrible, so the stock price has to go down. That's not really how this works. You know, if you're looking more long-term, potentially it could equal to that, but the reality is the stock's going to move when the Wall Street sees value in it. Or, you know, it's going to go down if people get scared. Is what it is. It is what it is. We have to turn around. Economic slowdown has me worried. Why? What economic slowdown? I don't see an economic slowdown. Maybe we're not looking at the same economics, but United States GDP has been the same as it's been. Actually, the USG, maybe because of the AI, but the GDP right now is the highest it's been in a while. I mean, you can't really count 2020 to 2021. That was, I don't think you'll ever see that again, but the overall economy's fine, so I don't really understand that. I don't think the economy is slowing down. But economics also has nothing to do with the stock market. It can, in moments, but economics has nothing to do with the stock market. Precious metals sat stagnant until the last year and a half. What precious metal? Why is the precious metals going up? Because the stock price broke out, and now people want it, and because the price is going up. There's no, I don't know an actual reason why silver's going up besides that, but you broke out, and now it's going up. So you can relate whatever you want to stocks, the business, economics. You can do whatever you want, but the reality is the stock broke out, and look what happened. Like, it's simple, honestly. It truly is simple. The silver price stayed stagnant for fucking 5 years. Maybe even longer if you're looking at it from a longer time frame. The silver price stayed stagnant for basically 20 years. And then it finally broke out. So, I don't know. I've never related news, business, economics to stock price movement. It can have an effect. It can be relevant. But the reality is the stock price is, this traders control the stock price. When traders saw silver break out, they started buying the fuck out of it. Is silver going to stay at $80? We'll see. That's highly debatable. We'll see. But if silver comes back down to like 30, 40 bucks, I mean, that just goes to show it's traders controlling this shit. It has nothing to do with anything else besides how traders feel in the moment. And right now, everyone and their mom is obsessed with silver. Yeah, because economics has nothing to do with inflation, or the stock market has nothing to do with inflation. Sure, inflation, just because stocks were going up insane when we had record high inflation, it doesn't mean inflation was the cause of that. So, I don't look at the stock market like that. I just don't. What's up, Matt Romano? What's up, bro? And I don't know. Like I said, if the stock market is dictating how you feel on a daily basis, don't even look at it. Like, it's a waste of your time to even look at it. Because I look at the stock price being down and it doesn't affect me at all. If it keeps going down, potentially it'll affect me, but I still won't care. The title a troll? I don't think so. It could be not a troll. We'll get into that here in a little bit. I mean, I already looked into it yesterday, kind of. But I was looking at it more, and it's pretty interesting. I've been waiting for silver to break out for 12 years. Were you accumulating silver for 12 years? Because if you were accumulating silver for 12 years, you would have a lot of fucking money in silver, and that move would have made you rich. So, if GameStop doesn't move for 12 years, fuck, I might be crazy, but I hope it doesn't. I hope GameStop doesn't move for 12 years. I hope I get a stack up to like 30, 40,000 shares or more. Like, on God. I ain't even capping. The more shares I can stack on GameStop, the longer it stays at this price or lower. Fuck. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. It's all about how you look at it. Because if you were accumulating silver for the past 12 years, you would have been rich this year. So, I don't know. It's all about how you look at it. If the price being down and not moving is making you feel negative, I could see why you wouldn't buy more. But look at every stock on the market that has had a crazy breakout. It's worth the wait. It's worth accumulating more. The stock price going up isn't cool. Like, it's not. If GameStop went up to $50 or $100 tomorrow, I would not be very happy about it, personally. Like, I would make a bunch of money, and that would be cool, I guess, but I would rather have GameStop not move so I can continue to buy more shares at a good price. Like, I wouldn't be happy if the price went up exponentially. You know, ask me a year ago, I probably would have been like, yeah, money. But it's a changed investment for me. It's a changed investment for me. What's up, Grady? How you doing? How you doing, Grady? QAnon mom gave 80 ounces of silver for Christmas in 2024. I don't know what to believe anymore. Hey, your mom plugged you up, bro. You plugged you up. After we left stream yesterday, saw he was on Joe. Yeah, I was gonna watch that today. That'll be a good podcast. I don't think I've ever watched Johnny Knoxville on a podcast. So it'll be good. I'm excited for that. But what's up, Ruben? Hope you're doing good. Skedaddle to a shop and sell it? I would. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have any silver. I used to have like a couple ounces, but not anymore. I sold that forever ago. I've never been a physical... I just don't like physical investments, personally. I like digital assets. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I'm gonna open up a power pack. I'm excited. I haven't opened up a power pack in forever. I'm excited. Hopefully we hit something massive for the stream. We probably won't, because GameStop's a complete scam. Well, power packs. Power packs is a complete scam. But who knows, you know, maybe we'll get blessed up. Maybe we'll get blessed up by a power pack. I don't have any high expectations for it, but maybe we'll get blessed up. Well, also, hopefully it lets me send it through, because it is an Amex card. I guess I better record it, just in case. Just in case, we'll just record the power pack poll. Let's see what we get. Let's see if we get anything massive for once. We've opened so many packs and haven't gotten anything good, so maybe, just maybe. Nope, we didn't get anything good. We didn't get anything good. That's kind of a cool card, though. What is that? Pokemon Indonesia Pikachu Indonesia Journey. Pikachu in Batik shirt. What the hell is this thing, bro? What is this thing? It's kind of a cool card, but not worth anything. Definitely not worth anything. And at least it's a PSA 10 too. I'm happy about that. Yeah, this card sucks. This card sucks. How come every time I open up a power pack, it's so trash? Like, I have I have the worst luck on power packs. At least I got a card worth what I paid for, sort of. And it's pretty liquid. It's been selling at 80, 90 bucks for a while now. So I'm not completely upset with that poll, but come on, GameStop. That was garbage. That was garbage. Oh, that was garbage. Oh well. Is what it is. Is what it is. That sucks. Oh well, at least we added another card to the collection, I guess, right? I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. I hate power packs, honestly. It pisses me off. Power packs is so trash. In the summer, I got given a lot. I still have half the silver. Oh, yeah, I remember when you got all that silver. You go fucking sell that shit, bro. I mean, I would. I mean, not financial advice. I would, but... What a Friday. Let's go. Scam. What's up? Kenny's intern? I think I saw you in here yesterday. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Most power packers quit just before hitting big. Well, power packs is trash. I've opened like over 250 power packs and haven't hit a single good card. So yeah. I hate power packs. Honestly. It's garbage. It's garbage. Oh, I was wondering where my window went. Alright. Still haven't updated the stores. Nothing there. Nothing there. Sec filings. Nothing there. Let's see. What do we got for news today? Trump floats new tariffs and push to acquire Greenland. Biggest offshore wind project in U.S. to resume construction after judge lifts Trump's suspension. OpenAI to begin testing ads on ChatGPT. That's not a surprise. I'm surprised they haven't been doing that already. Micron stock climbs as CEO highlights AI demand for memory. Trump pitches direct payments to consumers for healthcare. I don't know what that means. I don't really want to read that. Trump unveils healthcare plan. Trump's proposed... Okay, whatever. The Sachs... there's no news. There's no news. I think it's safe to say there's no news. Oh, wow. Riot's up 13% today? Good lord. I've always thought Riot was probably like the most interesting crypto stock investment. But as you know, I'm a GameStop degenerate, so I don't, I never bought it or anything, but yeah. It's not doing as well as I thought it was gonna. Or I thought it was gonna be up more. It's not up as much as I thought it was. Nothing there. Let's see. Dave Portnoy's pizza review forces struggling restaurant owner to double staff due to demand. Nice. Nice. Dude, there's like no news. I mean, I guess we'll dive into the Cineverse thing, but there's like no news. Jeez, Corey in the House is selling for over $700? What the fuck? Oh, man. Gunman threatens customers, steals 116K in Pokemon cards. See, that's why I like that's like my only thing I like about power packs is I get to put my cards in the vault where they're safe. That's kind of beneficial. It's kind of sad though. It's sad that people make or create these businesses and then something like that happens. You have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Pokemon and some fucking dickhead breaks into your shop and steals half of it or more. Like, that shit's sad, bro. It's sad you can't even like do anything in this world anymore worth doing because of other people. I don't know, it's bullshit. I would love to open like a business like that or something, but that's literally my biggest fear is some idiot is going to break into my store and steal all my shit. And it's a very rational fear, and investing all that money into like a storefront and product and all that just for some fucking dickhead to do that fucking sucks, bro. That sucks. Hey, what's up, Moose? How you doing, Moose? Happy Friday, bro. Happy Friday. There's a decent amount of people here for a Friday. Usually the Friday streams are kind of cooked. So welcome. Hope you guys are all doing good. I'm heading today to sell it actually in a few hours. Currently broke. I loaded too many Gme shares. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I think that power pack was like my last $100, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I haven't looked at my bank account in a minute, but I'm pretty sure there's only like a couple $100 in there. It usually all goes to GameStop shares. Trump's gonna take over the Fed and inflate the dollar? No, definitely not. What Trump's doing is, a threat to the Fed independence, but he's not gonna succeed. There's no fucking way. Side note, one of the highest growing sectors is gambling. There's your GDP growth. So, why does it matter where the GDP growth comes from? And do you have statistics to prove that? Or is that just like an emotional thing? Where are the statistics to prove that? Because I would argue most of the GDP is coming from AI, which also probably isn't a good thing. But where are the stats to prove? And why does it, if I'm going to say it again, not only does the stock market, if economics, politics, the stock market, crypto, anything you see on the internet makes you feel some type of way, just don't even look at it, bro. Like, being negative about the economy and the stock not moving is not worth your time. Trust me. I've watched stocks and economics more than anyone. And I've been there. I've been affected by stocks emotionally. It's not worth your time, bro. So like, if that's really like, if all this stuff really like makes you like feel negative, and just don't even look at it. Trust me, bro. You will thank me in like a few months when you actually like aren't focused on this stuff. Bro, I have over $200,000 in GameStop. And I don't even care. Like, I don't know, man. The stock price could go down back to $13. I'll lose 6 figures. And I still won't care. Like, you need to just like accept this fucking bet for what it is. And just live your life, bro. Just enjoy your life. Like, there is no point focusing on stock price movement and what's going on in the world if it makes you feel negative. I focus on what's going on in the world and economics and stock market because I love it. In the good times and the bad times, like, I fucking love this shit. Sometimes I get on the stream and I'm not that happy, whatever. That's life, You can't always be in a good mood, but literally, like, if this stuff makes you feel negative, don't even pay attention to it, bro. I'm telling you. It's not worth it. Take a break. And I don't say I have that much to like flex. I do it to prove a point. Like if someone like me can put this much in a stock and be this invested and be okay with losing $100,000 potentially, I think you're gonna be okay. That's all. You know, I'm not trying to say that to flex or like act like I'm better, because I'm not. You know, money means nothing, honestly. I don't even, bro. I made like $100 last month, literally. I have all this money in the stock, but me personally, I'm not making fucking shit right now. I'm actually making less money than I've ever made in my life. And it's like, if I can be okay with the outcome, I think so can the rest of you. That's all I'm trying to say. Because this is more than just like, this is more than just a stock price going up. This is a real investment. And the longer the price stays at these lower prices, the better this investment is going to play out for the people that are committed to it. Any investment, not just GameStop. Look at any stock on the market that has the potential qualities of what GameStop has, you know, potential growth all the way into the future for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Any stock, business, whatever that has that potential outcome, the more you can buy at a lower price, the better. That's what insurance is for. Sometimes they don't cover it, and sometimes it takes a long time to get it covered. Sometimes insurance companies fuck you, bro. Definitely don't start a business in Chicago. Just running around a bunch, popping in while I can. Oh, what's up? Good, Moose, good. Well, I hope you have a good weekend if you don't end up being here towards the end. I'm in a Costco, got food for a week and a half, don't need gas money, rent is paid, let's go. Here's the kicker, though, I got paid today. Nice, nice. If you did the DD before committing. Yeah, but you can do all the DD in the world. There's still the psychological aspect of money that's involved, and just the psychological aspect of the stock market in general, you know? You see these indexes hitting all-time highs. You see Google hitting a 4 trillion market cap. You see all these shitty trash businesses like APLD fucking doubling, tripling. And then there's GameStop not moving. Like, I understand why it's, like, emotional. But the stock price not going up isn't a bad thing. It's really not. In fact, I mean, from my perspective, the stock price not going up is awesome. Because that means one of two things. A, nobody believes in it and they won't buy it. Or B, there's a bunch of people shorting it. And if there's a bunch of people shorting it, I mean, they're betting against me. They're betting against Roaring Kitty. They're betting against Ryan Cohen. You know, I'll take that bet any day. If someone wants to bet against me, good luck. Good luck. I don't lose. I've lost, but I don't lose. I might lose, you know, who knows? Who knows? We could lose. That's the whole point of betting, is you can lose. But I don't lose. I don't lose. I don't lose. Even when I lose, I never lose. That's even. I don't lie. Even when I'm lying. Is that Tony Montana? I don't ever lie. Even when I'm lying. Life be lifin'. That's fair, bro. That's fair, but Still, this stuff shouldn't make you feel any type of way. A price on a screen shouldn't make you feel any type of way. But you also have to, realize I've been through a lot, I've been through a lot when it comes to, like, money and emotions. So I would never expect someone to be as, like, quote-unquote zen as me, I've fucking made, like, $12,000-$15,000 sports betting, lost it all gambling slots, been scammed over 30 grand by my old best friend. Like, I've had, like, every bad thing happen to me in life. Everyone's, like, basically every family member that I love is gone. Like, there's a lot that's happened in my life to be able to be so, like, emotionally zen. But what it comes down to is I just don't care about the money. I think that really is, like, the biggest factor. I think a lot of people care about the money. I think a lot of people care too much about the money. And that's fine, That's fine. I get it. Bro. I get it. But the money is it's just fucking, it's not even real. Honestly, it's not even real. Good example to me has been ticker Vion 2022. I invested on that ticker due to the conflict with Ukraine, held through the years that trade sideways, $10 range, then 3 years after went bananas. And until today, I still regret feeling I sold too early. Oh, that's a whole nother thing, though. You made profit on a trade. Like, why would you feel bad that you sold? You did what you thought was right in the moment. Just because the stock price kept going up, I don't know if that's believe me, I've been there, but, like, that's not a good reason to be upset about it. You made a solid trade. You made money. Most people lose money in the stock market. So, news, politics, economics, stock price, your feelings have no impact on any of these things. Gotta be chill. But I also love this, I love it. I love economics. I love stocks. When I see, to me, seeing a stock price go up is a lot of the times not good in my eyes. A lot of the times it's not good. Hang in there, unknown. It'll be worth it. I would like to say the same thing, but realistically, nobody knows where this stock is going to go, and nobody knows what's going to happen. So, like, I do agree with you, of course, but we got to live in reality. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And everyone was telling me the stock sucks, companies suck, but their numbers were doing good. They're becoming profitable, reducing risk. That's why I haven't got anywhere from Gme, because it reminds me of that. That's fair, man. That's fair. And, those were good reasons to potentially stay in the stock, but in the moment, you felt like taking profits was the right move. So I don't think you can be upset about that. I really don't. Hang in there. I love GME. Shares are like perpetual lottery tickets that never expire. Yeah, I mean, that's the stock market in general. When you go place a sports bet or something, you lose all the money you put in when you lose. In the stock market, you don't lose till the fat lady sings. You don't lose till the company goes bankrupt and those stocks are zero. And even in some cases, you don't even lose then if they have actual shareholder equity. So, this is a massive bet for a lot of us. And I get why it's, like, emotional, but in reality, I think we're in a good position. And the fact the price is still trading low is positive. Like, it may not seem like it, It may not seem like it, but the stock being low is positive. It's a positive thing. You're able to buy more at fair value. You know, you're not buying it at stockholder equity. You know, you're not buying it at $12, $13, but $20 is the fair value of GameStop in most fundamental cases. So it's really positive that it's trading like this. You know, that's how I look at it. But I believe 100% buying the balance sheet. Well, something just feels off. The whole yen carry trade, so much shit don't add up. Yeah, but the yen, in my mind, the yen carry trade has nothing to do with this. All the things you see on Reddit and Twitter that people are talking about that compare to this stock has nothing to do with it. It really doesn't. It has absolutely zero to do with this stock. This stock is a long-term investment that may or may not work. And that's all it is. It's a, you know, and beyond that, if you're looking at the stock price on a screen, it's a stock that has touched $100, well, $100, over $100 once, $80. It's touched higher prices multiple times without completely going in the shitter. Most stocks that squeeze like GameStop did are fucking worthless. This is a very unique stock in the market beyond just the business. And originally, that's why I got into the stock. It had nothing to do with the business. You know, when I first invested in GameStop, I thought the chart was interesting. I thought the volatility aspect was interesting. And then I learned more about the business and, you know, now we're here, but like, beyond just the business, the stock chart is interesting, but any outside factors, economics, politics, yen fucking carry trade, like whatever other bullshit people try to compare with this stock or try to relate with this stock, it's irrelevant. It's truly irrelevant. I've never once in my life put any relevancy on the yen carry trade. Like, what the fuck? People have been talking about that for like a year and a half. What the fuck has happened? I don't even think people know what they're talking about when it comes to the yen fucking carry trade. I don't even think these people know what they're talking about. They don't even know how to profit off something like that. If you wanted to benefit off of the yen carry trade, you would have invested in the bond or the Japanese TLT. I don't know if there is a thing like that, but you would, you know, if you wanted to make money off the yen carry trade, you would have fucking invested in the Japanese TLT. You wouldn't have invested in GameStop. That has nothing to do with Japan. There aren't even GameStops in Japan. It's like, that has nothing to do with it. I just got here and I'm getting deep Corey lore. Oh, what's up, Grady? What's up? Oh, man. Man makes the money, money doesn't make the man, but damn, wouldn't it be nice to have 250K liquidity? I mean, it's not all mine, if I'm being truly honest. A lot of it's my mom's. So if my mom believes in the fucking trade, my mom knows nothing about the stock market. She has like $100,000 in GameStop and she knows fucking nothing. I'm just, you know. Shit's fucking hilarious, bro. Do you think there are unethical stocks to own? Yeah, Roblox for sure. Roblox is the first one that comes to mind. Definitely, but I mean, like, military type stocks, potentially. I don't know how ethical that would be to own. like Northrop Grumman, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, I don't know how ethical it is to own companies that make weapons that kill people, but Roblox is definitely the first that comes to mind. Ain't nobody gonna answer that in a YouTube comment section. I like Ryan Cohen's team within the stock too. Yeah. Solid team. Board of directors. You got fucking Nat Turner, bro. Larry Chang. You know? You got some G's on the GameStop team. I think it's possible for a meme rally in March or April when people get their larger than average tax refunds, stimmy checks 2.0. Maybe. Possible. It's possible. But my bet isn't on the stock squeezing. You know? It's not. My bet's the next 10, 20 years. The CEO compensation plan. You know? If GameStop's trading at $100 billion market cap in the next 10 years, fuck, Ryan Cohen better put his meat on the table because I'm gonna fucking suck it dry, bro. I'm gonna suck Ryan Cohen off dry if this thing's trading up $100 billion fucking in 10 years, bro. I will suck that man dry. He better just flop it out on the table now. Get it ready for me. God. Why are you guys here? Why do you guys listen to this stream? I did see your Ruben. I think it was Ruben said, what about the warrants? I think that was Ruben. I don't know where I saw that. That was a while ago, but I mean, it would be cool for the warrants to, you know, the stock to be trading above $40 and we get to exercise our warrants for 32. That'd be sick, but I honestly don't care. Like, straight up. I'd rather buy more shares at $20 than, you know, exercise some warrants at 32. Glizzy Cobblers. What was this stream even about? I don't know. This is the stream every day. You know, I just come on here and just fucking talk. Honestly. Like, I just talk. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm talking about. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. I'm here for the tinfoil. We used to read prayers. We have strayed. I mean, I would love to still read the Bible, but people get too upset. That's just... Politics, religion, those are two subjects I try to stay away from. Because people take them way too serious. Alright. There's no news, basically, is what I'm getting at. So, I want to actually look into this Cineverse thing. Even though I've already kind of looked into it. It just seems like a potential interesting acquisition. And I've seen nobody else talk about this. Everyone else is talking about stocks that literally make 0 sense. People are talking about Alibaba for some reason, even though GameStop is a fucking, like, baby little I don't know. GameStop isn't even fucking on Alibaba's realm, so I don't know why people are talking about like an Alibaba merger. I don't know. People suggest the weirdest things, but this is the first stock I've, well, besides Funko. Funko is kind of interesting, but this is one of the first stocks / companies I've seen that would actually make sense for GameStop to invest in. And the reason why I even had this ideas in the first place is because they're collaborating on the new Silent Hill movie that Cineverse. I don't know if Cineverse made it or what. Like I don't really know exactly. But, you know, GameStop and Cineverse are partners featuring, I'll just read it. Even though we read this yesterday, I'm pretty sure it's basically GameStop's close to where the Silent Hill movie is playing. You're going to be able to go to that GameStop and access a mysterious digital message or something like that. I don't want to read it because we read it yesterday, but yeah, Cineverse and GameStop are doing a partnership or a collaboration, whatever you want to call it. But the interesting thing about Cineverse is it actually trades on the stock market. So you can actually go look at their financials. And sure, you know, it's a small company, only 39 million market cap. Like, it's a small company. But, yeah, let's go into the financials and then we'll look at some other stuff. But if you go into their financials and you go to last year, they actually made profit last year. They actually made 3 million profit, 3.7 million profit. But they did 2 million in stock-based compensation. So like what if GameStop could come in here, get rid of the stock-based compensation, get rid of all this fucking bloat, and turn this into a more profitable company? Like, I think there was one year I saw where they made 17 million, but anyway, you know, they're sitting on 72 million in assets, 34 million in liabilities, with 37 million in stockholder equity, trading at a 39 million market cap. So it's trading at like the value. But if you go to this year, Cineverse isn't profitable this year. But they were profitable last year. So if GameStop can come in here and get a good deal on this business and turn it around where it's making $5, $10, $20 million a year, like that would be really interesting. I don't know exactly if they would do it because it's a pretty small company, but it could grow because if you actually like research the company, they just made this Return on Silent Hill movie, and from like the trailers and stuff that I've seen, that actually looks really good. You know, I'm not really a big movie buff or anything like that, but it actually looks pretty good. And they have a bunch of shows. Like this is basically like all these shows are made by Cineverse or their partners, whatever. They have all these shows. So like Cineverse could become a bigger type company. But what I saw something interesting right here. Hulu acquires streaming rights from Cineverse for The Toxic Avenger to debut on platform January 8th, 2026. Like, wouldn't this be an interesting business for GameStop to invest in? Because they got one of their shows to stream on Hulu. Like, wouldn't this be an interesting investment for like an interesting business for GameStop to put in their portfolio? Like what other businesses, you know, I'm sure there's a few more businesses similar to this, but only 39 million market cap, like it's not that expensive. It's not that expensive. It's something that GameStop could buy, and even if it fails, like it wouldn't really affect anything. But if it could grow and become something more exponential, Like, what if this tiny little business could start making 30 million a year, or 50 million, or even 100 million if you're looking 5-10 years from now? Like, this could be an interesting thing for GameStop to pick up. Like, look at all these shows, man. So many shows. So many shows. And if GameStop's going to become the Berkshire Hathaway of the next generation, streaming is the next generation. It would make sense for GameStop to have an investment in something like this, or even own something like this, because streaming is the future of entertainment. You know, as far as like movies and videos and stuff like that goes, like, this is the future of entertainment. So this would be something interesting for GameStop to invest in. You know, do I know or think they'll do it? That's highly up for debate, but their partner, why would GameStop, a $10 billion company, collaborate with a fucking $40 million company? That makes no fucking sense. Unless they were gonna buy it. Unless they were gonna buy it. If they were gonna buy it, it makes sense. But it makes no sense for them to collaborate with this. They're a multi-billion-dollar company collaborating with this little fucking peanut. I don't know. I don't know. It's the most interesting thing I've seen. You know, I don't see anyone else talking about businesses that I find relevant. This is the first business I've seen, like, you know, GameStop collab with, where it would actually make sense for GameStop to buy this and turn it around. And, you know, GameStop just made a video game. Why would, you know, if GameStop's going to start making video games, why wouldn't they start making shows too? Or, you know, buy a business that's making shows. I don't know, just it's interesting. It's so interesting. End of the day, me either. I'm long term and I don't care about warrants. Just for Ryan Cohen, plan to fall through. That's it. But I agree. Yeah. I mean, the warrants were a free $1,000 for being a shareholder, basically, if you really think about it. So you could have took your $1,000 and that was a cool payment from GameStop. But, you know, who knows? Maybe they'll go up more. Maybe they won't. Who knows? I always forget I have warrants. I have no plan what to do with them. Yeah, I mean, I probably will have them expire worthless unless they go up exponentially. Then, you know, maybe I'll consider selling them. I don't have any plans for the warrants either. Honestly, I plan them expiring worthless. I feel like that's the more likely thing, but I don't know. Is this their website? Yeah, well, they have this website, and then they have the investor relation website. Hollywood is only making sequels and movies from existing IPs. You think Hollywood will increasingly mine video game IPs for content? Oh yeah, probably. I think so, but I don't... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a good thing because, I mean, Silent Hill was a pretty popular game when it came out, so it makes... I think this is the second one, though. This is the second one, I believe. But, yeah, I mean, people love video games, anime, stuff like that, so to be able to make shows around those things, and if you can actually make them good, for sure. Does anybody know what Cineverse does? They just make shows. I think it's just a studio. Or they manage studios. You can look it up. I've read it, but I forgot. I'm pretty sure it's just a studio, though. But someone was talking about, GameStop buying a video game studio in here yesterday. What if they bought a movie or, a show-making studio? That would be pretty... Like, if them buying a video game studio is a possibility, I feel like a show studio is also a possibility. Company owns and operates streaming channels, operates as an aggregator and distributor of feature films and television programs, proprietary technology software as a service platform for over-the-top app development and content distribution through subscription video on demand. Dedicated ad-supported and ad-supported streaming linear channels, as well as social video streaming services and audio podcasts. Yeah, they also have podcasts and stuff on there. In addition, the company operates Matchpoint TM, a software-based streaming operating platform. Further, it distributes products for brands such as Hallmark, ITV, Nelvana, ZDF, Konami, NFL, and Highlander brands, as well as for content creators, movie producers, television producers, and other short-form digital content producers, and sells physical products such as DVDs and Blu-ray discs. The company provides its services through direct-to-consumer channels, application platforms, and third-party distributors of content on platforms. The company was formerly known as Cindim Corp and changed its name to Cineverse in May 23. Cineverse was incorporated in 2000 and is based in New York, New York. So, I mean, that it just seems like a relevant business. Like, if GameStop's going to become the Berkshire Hathaway of the future, this seems like a relevant business to acquire. Might be onto something. Maybe. We'll see. You know, just an idea. It's interesting. Looks interesting. Cineverse acquired a different company. That's okay. An entertainment studio did just release his own award show out of nowhere. True. Keeping the door open. Would they know how to turn this around? I mean, they were profitable last year, so it must not be that difficult. I think the issue would be the size. You know, it's only 40 million market cap, you know, 36 million in assets or whatever. Like, it's a tiny company, but I think more than turning it around, what if they can grow it? What if they can grow it into a, you know, 100, 200, 300 million dollar company? Like, that's pretty interesting. And if it's profitable, like I said, what if it could start bringing in, instead of a couple million, what if it could bring in like 50 million? That would be interesting. Damn, Elvis? I haven't seen Elvis in a while. I hope you had a good holidays, Elvis. Hope you had a good holidays, bro. Afghan Battle Rat, what's up, bro? They need to buy Whatnot. I think Whatnot's too big of a business. But I don't know. See, Cineverse, I can actually research and see the fundamentals, and, you know, I can actually see them buying this because I've researched the business and I can see the numbers, and they've already, you know, they're collaborating with it. Like this is something I can actually see. What other people are saying, Whatnot, fucking Alibaba, what was that other one, that stupid healthcare business that for some reason people are saying they should buy? Like, none of those make sense. Whatnot and Alibaba are probably way too expensive. Well, Alibaba and GameStop aren't even on the, like, Alibaba's somewhere in the stratosphere and GameStop's down here, you know, munching on peanuts. Whatnot, I don't know Whatnot's business, but I'd imagine that is way too expensive. This is a real business that's cheap, that could potentially grow. Like, there's a lot of factors about this that is interesting. I see a lot of other people talk about a lot of other things, but they don't give any reasons why. Like, you can say words, but why? You know, how are they going to buy Alibaba? Or how are they going to, you know, how are they going to buy Whatnot? How much is, let's see, How large of a company is Whatnot? Valued around 11.5 billion. Yeah, GameStop's not buying that. You think GameStop's gonna throw everything they have at fucking Whatnot? Nah, sorry. Not even realistic. Sorry to say. Come here with a business that's actually realistic and we can talk about it. The king of rock and troll. They should make older type movies, no CGI. Yeah, dude, they can make documentaries. You know, it said there's podcasts. Like, it's more than just films as well. It's not just films. There's podcasts as well. Like, if we go to genres, let's see. Where's, like, their podcast shit? Like, they have a lot of films, too. A lot of films, kid shows. I'm not seeing like podcasts or anything like that. They even have live TV. I could watch TV right now. Right here on stream, we can watch Boys Over Flowers. Whatever the fuck that is. But they got live TV on here. I can just watch it. I don't even need like a subscription or anything. I just fucking watching Boys Over Flowers. Fucking Boys Over Flowers. Oh shit. I wonder, maybe their podcasts are on a different website? Let's see. Like, this could be like a Spotify type thing, you know? It could be like a Spotify Netflix hybrid. It doesn't look like they have the podcasts on this website. Maybe they have it on something else. Let's see. You can even rent shit. And it's available on all this shit. I don't know. This is literally, you know, like I said, one of the only businesses I've seen that would actually make sense based off of its valuation and based off of what it is. Silent Hill is a sequel and a video game IP. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think it was a video game before a show, though, if I'm not mistaken. Dying Vegas? Nah, no Vegas. No Vegas. The dream is Steam, only a reverse merger via GameStop to go public. Why Steam though? Steam's too big. We got to be realistic with our with what GameStop fucking could acquire. Like, Steam's not realistic. Whatnot's not realistic. Alibaba's not realistic. This is, like I said, the only thing I've ever looked at that seems realistic. Well, Funko too, but Funko seems kind of expensive. And people don't, I don't know how like popular Funko Pops actually are, so I don't know how good of an acquisition that would be. But this is something like I could see. Like, truly. Steam/Valve, they could partner, you know, they could partner, maybe sell Steam games on GameStop's website or something, but that's about all I see there. Same with PSA. I see a lot of people saying GameStop should buy PSA. Like, that's not realistic. That's why GameStop and PSA are a partner, because GameStop buying PSA just isn't realistic. It's really not. Like, would it be cool? Yeah, sure. But just not realistic, I don't think. Just doesn't seem realistic to me. And same, you know, that's how I feel about Steam too. That doesn't, they could partner, but that's about it. that's about where it ends. You know, maybe GameStop sells the Steam Deck or whatever it's called, or the Steam Box, that new thing. Silent Hill gonna bring the spooky goth baddies in the store. Goth baddies call me Freddy Krueger? What? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Mr. P! What's up, P? How you doing, bro? That movie looked good. Yeah, Silent Hill does look decent. It does look decent. I'll probably, I probably won't watch it, but it looks okay. It looks okay. How much are tickets? Oh, it's even showing in a... Yeah, see, this Cinemark is pretty close to a GameStop. See, like, I could see GameStop buying this business. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy, but I could see it. A lot of other things I just can't see. GameStop rewards for all cosplayers per minute. They engage customers in conversation. Hopefully Cordell will move the stream to there. No. How much revenue does Amazon streaming service rake in? I don't know if you can look that up. Let's see. I mean, I guess you could Google it and get an AI answer, but I'd prefer a real, seeing some real numbers. Or maybe if we actually go into the balance sheet, maybe, let's see. Oh, stream. We have her, let's see. I don't see anything there. Yeah, we're gonna have to Google it and get an AI answer. How much revenue does Amazon... Yeah, and that would be competition with Amazon as well. So, like, that would make... It's one of the only businesses I've ever seen that would make sense for GameStop to acquire. And, it's actually cheap enough where it would make sense. It'd be much better to buy a business that's only, like, less than 100 million than blow like a couple billion on something that may or may not even work. Like, at least if Cineverse doesn't work, you're not investing that much into it. Streaming make a year. Approximately 44 billion is the AI answer. 17% of Amazon's total revenue. I mean, 44 billion? I mean, I'm just saying, like, if GameStop could turn that around and make that company grow, I don't know. I don't know. 44 billion. Check out the recent acquisition Cineverse did. Yeah, I will in a sec. I want to I want to see what revenue Cineverse is bringing in. I never looked at that. See, Cineverse is only bringing in... They actually grew their revenue this year. Even though they're not profitable. Oh, wait, this is old. I forgot. This is the 10K. But they only brought in like 49 million revenue in 24. And now they brought in 78 million in last year. So, like, this company is growing. I think it's just in debt. I think that's the problem. So if GameStop can come in here, turn this shit around, equity investment in the metaverse. It also has an investment in the metaverse, I guess. So that's, even though I don't find the metaverse compelling, like, that's kind of interesting, I guess. Let's see what they've brought in so far in revenue. See, they're not doing that good this year though. But that's actually positive for GameStop, because if they're not doing good this year, that means GameStop could potentially get a good deal on it. You know, if this was a profitable, growing company, GameStop's not gonna, be able to get a good deal on that. But the fact that it's actually not doing as well as it was last year, maybe they could get a good deal. Maybe. So I don't know. I think Cineverse is interesting as an acquisition. Probably one of the most interesting things I've seen, but I don't know. We'll see. Of course, it's all speculation, but I've never seen anyone speculate on anything else that I personally would find interesting. Let's see. GameStop already partners with Steam via Steam gift cards they sell. Steam also has handheld controllers and the new Steam machine coming out earlier this year. Well, there you go. I mean, that's great. That's great. Does GameStop sell the Steam? I think GameStop sells the Steam Deck, don't they? I think so. Steam Deck. No, just gift cards. Oh wait. They sell like yeah, they don't sell the Steam Deck. So they do sell gift cards though, you're right. But it would be cool if they could, get the Steam Deck on the shelves, or the, maybe not the Steam Deck cuz it's old, but when the Steam machine comes out, if they can get that in stores off of a partnership, that would be dope. That would be dope. Let's see. Yeah, their acquisitions. Go to news. What did you say? January 7th? Oh yeah, Giant worldwide and integrates service into Matchpoint. I don't know what that is. Global media services provider serving the world's leading Hollywood studios and streaming platforms. Company's award-winning AI-powered media supply chain solution solidifies its role as the leader in the automated media supply chain area in a fragmented 25+ billion post-production and media service market. Transaction adds a substantial base of recurring revenue from major entertainment companies to Cineverse's Matchpoint platform, will play a key role in how it powers the future of content distribution through automation and AI-driven technology. Huh. Wow. I'm going to read the rest of this. That's crazy. I just want to see the chat. I just want to read the chat for a sec. Get caught up. Are they looking to buy out the GameStop genre or business that will help or correlates? I don't know what you mean by that, actually. I don't know what you mean by that. Got burned on GME options. That's what you get for trading options. I never promote trading options, or lately trading in general. So I don't know where you got that idea from. Trading options is not a good idea ever. Literally. Recent acquisition might bring in more revenue. Yeah, I see this part. I'm gonna read it. Who's Cineverse's top 2 competitors? I have no clue. I couldn't even tell you. I could look it up, I guess. Who is Cineverse competitors? Fandango, Bet TV, Viacom 18 Media, Nikatsu, Boo Group, Gaia, Vivid Seats. That's just the AI answer. Who knows? Rosh! What's up, Rosh? How you doing, bro? Hey, Jason. What's up, Jason? Hope you're doing good. I win big, then lose everything. Trading's a crazy game I love to play. I mean, that's trading. Everyone's a genius until they're not. That's literally trading. That's literally trading. That's why I don't really do it. More fake GME price action? I don't think it's fake. I think you're just trading in a price area that you haven't really traded in a really long time. And there's a lot of, you know, a lot of speculation on both ends. Any cool ideas on new things that will delight gamers? My new ideas and goth baddies. Well, they already got that. They got a OK Nomi or whatever her name is. Well, they definitely got goth baddies. They doing it. They're way ahead. They're way ahead. Short sales volume on GME was over 73% again yesterday. I don't know if that stuff's like actually real or not, so I don't really pay attention to it. But maybe. Kind of interesting. All right, so a transformative acquisition for Matchpoint platform. Giant Worldwide brings Matchpoint, an established global services footprint spanning LA, New York, and Warsaw, along with deep operational expertise in digital delivery fulfillment, master QC, content localization, and OTT content testing, along with highly coveted preferred vendor service badges for the leading streaming platforms. Critically, the acquisition delivers a diversified base of recurring revenue from trusted, long-standing relationships as an approved vendor amongst a very short list for an unparalleled client roster that includes 4 major Hollywood studios, top independent film distributors, and leading industry streaming platforms. I mean, even if GameStop doesn't acquire this, it's kind of an interesting investment in itself. Like, it's a, really small company. It's not the best investment, but it could be an even if GameStop doesn't acquire it, it could be an interesting investment. Like, literally, if they pull in a year where they're pulling in like 20-30 million in net income, that's almost 100% shareholder value added. So, like, even if GameStop doesn't acquire it, could be a good or an interesting investment. For me, it's too small of a company. I'd want to see, a few hundred million, but it is interesting for sure. Like, I've never seen anything like this really on the market. I don't think there's really any similar public companies to this. I don't know. See, many of these relationships can now be expanded via Matchpoint, which aims to supplement expensive, labor-intensive video content processes with fully automated AI-driven workflows. The integration will enable Giant Worldwide's major Hollywood studio and streaming platform clients to benefit from Matchpoint's proven automation and integrated AI capabilities, including automated ingest, frame-by-frame AI-based video audio QC, AI-generated enhanced metadata enrichment, fully transparent automated mastering workflow, and machine learning-driven delivery optimization to reduce costs, eliminate human error, and effortlessly scale content distribution to all leading video streaming platforms. This acquisition represents a pivotal moment for Matchpoint and for the media services industry. We are immediately adding a significant base of prestigious Hollywood studio relationships by combining Giant Worldwide, long-standing client relationships with Matchpoint's advanced AI native infrastructure. The result is something the industry has never seen, a platform aided by artificial intelligence that can ingest, normalize, enrich, and deliver large studio film libraries across hundreds of endpoints with minimal manual intervention, capturing a structural market opportunity. See, this is where it's kind of interesting. The global post-production and media services market is projected to reach $74 billion by 2034, growing at a CAGR of over 11%. According to Market US, driven by the explosive growth of streaming platforms, fast channels, and global OTT distribution. Yet despite this growth, the industry remains structurally fragmented and operationally constrained, with the bulk of media services still executed through manual, human-centric workflows that lead to inconsistent quality, slow delivery cycles, and low margins. AI adoption in content creation and marketing has accelerated rapidly, but AI and automation in supply chain tasks, technical QC, metadata enrichment, ad break creation, graphic transformation, content compliance, and packaging remain significantly underpenetrated, despite these being highly repeatable through sophisticated orchestrations, process ideally suited for artificial intelligence. Matchpoint's guiding thesis is that the market is undergoing the same transformation that enterprise IT and advertising operations experienced a decade ago, a shift from labor-led service to AI-powered, platform-led workflows, with value accruing to scaled AI-native orchestration platforms that can deliver recurring revenue at highly attractive software margins. The acquisition of Giant Worldwide accelerates this strategy by combining global QC and fulfillment operations with teams across multiple continents. Matchpoint's AI-powered automation platform, capable of ingesting and mastering up to 15,000 titles per month with a team of just 15 people. AI-driven workflow orchestration that delivers 60 to 70% efficiency gains and enables software-like gross margins of 70 to 80%. Approved vendor status for the two largest, most stringent transactional distribution platforms with a highly scalable media processing infrastructure. MPA certified Motion Picture Association media processing facilities that meet Hollywood studios' stringent security requirements for handling high-value new film releases, with a highly trained staff capable of meeting these highly sensitive delivery requirements. Pro forma for financial guidance. Cineverse expects Giant Worldwide to contribute pro forma revenue of 15 to 17 million. I guess that's not that much. And pro forma EBITDA of 3.5 to 4 million in fiscal year 2027. That's not that crazy. See, that my only thing about this is I don't think it'll move the needle for GameStop. But what if they could grow it, you know? What if, instead of 2027, what if in 2035, before the CEO compensation plan is up, it's making, I don't know, 100 million, 40 million, I don't know. That's my only, thing I could see why they wouldn't buy something like this, is just because it's just not going to move the needle. 4 million in EBITDA in 2027, that's not moving the needle. So that's my only red flag there. It's just too small of a company. But who knows, Who knows? Maybe GameStop could come in and change it. I don't know, man. They got to get this fucking EBITDA from somewhere. They can't get it from just stacking cash. Company believes these projections are conservative, as management anticipates this acquisition will provide immediate market validation that spurs strong synergies with a significant base of additional customers who will transition recurring business to the Matchpoint platform away from legacy human-dependent competitors to benefit from the superior economics and advanced AI-powered capabilities of Matchpoint's machine-based workflow. The all-cash transaction is immediately accretive to Cineverse and was structured to be highly capital efficient, requiring minimal upfront investment while delivering significant recurring service revenue and EBITDA contribution within the current fiscal year. The acquisition is further de-risked by positioning Cineverse to leverage Giant Worldwide's established, long-standing relationships with major studio clients to accelerate the growth of the complementary Matchpoint SaaS business. The business generates positive EBITDA with a diversified, established customer base, providing Cineverse with a strong foundation for margin expansion through Matchpoint's AI-powered integration. Repeatable consolidation model. This acquisition demonstrates Cineverse's disciplined approach to value creation. Acquire legacy media services assets with strong recurring revenue relationships at attractive valuations. God, doesn't that sound like GameStop, bro? Doesn't that sound like GameStop? Acquire with strong recurring revenue relationships and attractive valuations, then convert them to modern era through AI-powered automation and scale at software margins. Company believes it's uniquely positioned to execute this strategy given Matchpoint Industries' only fully automated AI-native media supply chain platform, developed nearly over a decade with a world-class engineering team leveraging cutting-edge artificial intelligence, proven unit economics that demonstrate the margin transformation possible when manual, human-dependent workflows are replaced with highly automated, AI-powered orchestration capabilities, deep industry relationships, and operational credibility that facilitate trust based on transitions of mission-critical studio workflows that drive recurring revenue streams. AI-aided automation is the key that unlocks the full capabilities of Matchpoint. It's what allows us to offer significant software scalability where legacy media services companies are hindered by labor constraints and their associated high costs. God, dude, it just sounds like something GameStop would buy, dude. It's just a small company, but like it just, I don't know, bro. It just seems like it, man. Maybe I'm going insane. But fuck, it seems like something GameStop would buy. Matchpoint's the key to transform a fragmented, low-margin services industry into a scalable, high-margin, recurring revenue technology business. The digital media services industry is ripe for consolidation and overdue for AI-driven transformation. Cineverse intends to be the architect of that transformation, and the Giant Worldwide acquisition is a critical foundational step in building the dominant industry-leading services company in this space. The management team of Giant Worldwide and the majority of the existing staff will join Cineverse, while the company will be rebranded as Giant Worldwide, a Matchpoint company, alongside Matchpoint. Giant will operate within the umbrella of the Cineverse Technology Group, a division of parent company Cineverse. Giant's full client roster can expect the same uninterrupted quality service and continue to rely on their trustworthy reputation earned over the last 20 years as a top-tier service company greatly valued by its high-profile clients. God, that's so interesting, man. That is so interesting. Let's see. We want direction and value. Ryan Cohen, best I can do is goth baddies. Hey, at least it keeps you distracted for a while. You know? At least it keeps you distracted for a while. Some, okay, Nomi, her flat little chest can keep you excited. Why is my, what's going on here? There we go. Her flat little mosquito bite titties. At least they'll keep you distracted for a little bit. I'm sorry. I have no issue with okay Nomi. I just think it's funny. Fucking EBITDA. Hey, that's what we're looking for. We need some EBITDA. We need some EBITDA. VR goth baddies at your wish. Make it happen. Hope things line up. We'll see. I think it's interesting. It seems like even an interesting investment in general. Just a small company. Seems like an interesting investment somewhat. I don't know. I mean, it's at the lowest price it's ever... Well, not quite. I've never actually looked at a real chart for this thing. It's just such a small company, like, the only way you're ever gonna get any gain from it is if somehow the market spots it or they randomly make a bunch of net income and add a bunch of shareholder value. Like, it would be a tough company to, like, make money on as an investment, but, well, a personal investment. For GameStop, it would add EBITDA, revenue, like, it would add a lot to their business. But as a personal investment, it would be tough because it's just such a small company. But it's been flat, dude. It's been flat for a whole month. It's because it's trading at the stockholder equity. Like, that's the price. But it used to trade at 80 cents. And then it broke out. It went from 80 cents to fucking $4 when it broke out. God, that looks... Usually I don't like companies that are this small, but it just looks so... And the stock used to be worth a lot more. Like, what's up with that? What's up with that? We gotta go back to some SEC filings here. That's interesting. You know, we got filings all the way from 08. Like, what were they doing back in 08? Let's see. Oh. Like, maybe this is a company that used to be big and then it just had bad leadership and it turned into a not great company. Yeah, this used to pull in... Where's their balance sheet? There it is. Yeah, this used to have 300 million. Used to be quite a bit bigger of a company. What is this, 2012? What does it have for IP, or does it not say probably the cost of the intellectual property? Not say probably the... I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you're asking. Anybody read Burry's piece on GME? Next post is due soon. I have a stream where we read it. I used to have a video where we read it, but I ended up deleting it for some reason. But there's a stream on my channel. There's a stream on my channel where I read the whole thing. Oh, coming in my live stream just to talk shit? You must love me so much. Well, now you can be banned from my channel forever. Dumbass. Fucking idiot. If you think the stock is trash, you probably shouldn't come into my stream. And if you think I'm trash, you probably shouldn't be giving me attention. Sounds like you have a secret crush on me. That's crazy, bro. You got a secret crush on me? Come here. Come here. Let me give you a little kiss. Let me give you a little kiss. Fucking loser. People who come in here to talk shit on the stock or me, you're literally a fucking idiot. Like, you're taking time out of your day to come and talk shit on someone that you pretend like you don't like, but it seems like you actually have a crush on me. And not only that, it seems like you really like GameStop. You're searching it up on YouTube, so you must like GameStop. Isn't that crazy? You're spending time out of your day to look at GameStop? That's weird. That's weird. You know, if I didn't like something, I wouldn't spend any time on it. So you must have some weird crush on me, I guess. Which I don't blame you. You know, I get it. I get it, I guess. Oh, shit. What's their content library worth? Is there no way to find out? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how I would look that up. I don't know how I would look that up. But from the looks of it, it looks like it's potentially, you know... I'm just looking at these old 10Ks, and they've just lost so much money throughout the years, but now it kind of looks like potentially it could turn around. It's kind of weird. They lost so much money throughout the years. It's either going bankrupt or they're turning it around. You know, it's tough to say which one's going to happen. But they're not losing nearly anywhere near as much money as they were losing. And they were actually profitable last year. So, kind of interesting. They were profitable in 2022 as well. They made $2 million. So it can be profitable. And they purchased something. Huh. Yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I don't know. Normally I don't like small companies like this, but this is like one of the times I'm like, whoa. Whoa. I don't think I would go throw money at this, honestly. I don't think. Like, why did they lose so much here? Accounts payable, content advances, unbilled revenue, purchase of property. See, they got a lot of debt. I think the debt is what's killing them. So that's why, man. I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. I don't know if this is actually gonna, happen. I don't know if it's like gonna be a reality. But it is interesting to think about, and there's just something about that. Just something about that stands out. Rando's talking shit, a new recession indicator. Nah, that just happens all the time. We have a lot of haters I don't know why. There's a lot of people that hate me, but there's more people that hate the stock. So it's a mix. It's a mix. Get the damn Ruben on top of it, bro. He's on top of it. He's on top of it. Oh, I'm too slow. I'm too slow.
Soon we'll be telling the whole stadium how
Liberty Mutual
customizes car insurance to save people hundreds.
Where is it? Oh, that was a trash bell. That bell sucked.
1, 2, 3.
There we go. I got it. I got it just in time. Just in time. But yeah, people don't like me in the GameStop community. And people already hate the stock, so it's like, it's a good mix. It's a good mix of people just not liking me and not liking the stock, so they come in here and talk shit. They take time out of their day to come in here and talk shit for some reason. It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's the life of being a streamer, I guess. Someone who streams about something people don't like. I guess that's just what it is. The market's closed on Monday? Interesting. Interesting. Do you remember like a year ago when the market would be closed on Monday and then the next day the stock would just randomly go up and for like 5 minutes? Does anyone else remember that? And not saying that's going to happen next week, but I'm just curious if anyone remembers those times. Friday. What has everyone got going on this weekend? Anything? Any excitement for the weekend? I do not recall. I remember they had an extra day off last January. Well, it was something. It was something. That was a while ago. It's hard to remember, a 5-minute blip in the stock chart when it happened like over a year ago. Nothing on Reddit as usual. As usual. Moving furniture tomorrow. What? You moving? Are you moving someone out or what? Or are you just rearranging things? I'm expecting the Burry post this weekend, also a YOLO update, and a Cineverse merger announcement, so I'll be preparing this weekend to be a millionaire. I don't think it'll be a merger. It'll be an acquisition. It won't be a merger. But we'll see. We'll see. I think the Burry post should be sometime soon, though. How relevant that is, that's highly up for debate, but... Aaron! Happy Friday, Aaron. Hope you're doing good. Picking up bunk beds for my sleepovers. Wait, who are you having bunk bed sleepovers with? Aren't you like 40? Yeah, me and the bros, we just gonna be hanging out in our bunk beds, drinking some Modelo's. Do they have Modelo's in Canada? I don't know. What the hell do they drink in Canada? We're gonna drink some maple syrup. We're gonna drink some alcoholic maple syrup and get fucked up in our bunk beds. The sleepover demographic is Gme's bread and butter. No homo. That's for my kids. Yeah, that's what I figured. I was just messing with you. I honestly didn't know you had kids, though. I don't know if that's ever been mentioned, but that's kind of what I figured. That's fun. That'll be a good time. Got 2? Hell yeah, bro. That's awesome. That's awesome, bro. I bet it's probably the best thing in the world, honestly. It's probably the best thing in the world, I imagine. See, and that Toxic Avenger that got picked up by Hulu was only on this for like 3 months. Then it got picked up by Hulu. Streaming apps for in-vehicle video streaming. I don't know. Liquid Death. They did a Liquid Death. Like, this company, bro, is so interesting. It's just too small. If it wasn't so small, it would be more interesting. But God, they have a lot of interesting things. Airbud returns, dude? Airbud? Fuck yeah. I don't know. I need to get off this Cineverse shit. I feel like a Reddit tinfoiler. I feel like a Reddit tinfoiler right now. I should go make a Reddit post. They're gonna buy Cineverse! Buy Cineverse! Hey guys, I'm here on Super Thonk and they're gonna buy Cineverse. You know why? Because I said so. Wouldn't it be funny if they actually did though? It'd be kind of funny if they actually did. Oh man. What now? What now? I think I went through all the news. How'd the market do overall? Market basically flat. Where's crypto? Crypto's up a little bit, not much, but could potentially make the push for 100K. We'll see. We'll see. You can now pay $1 million to reserve a hotel stay on the moon. Nice. Nice. Pabst Blue Ribbon teams up with Godzilla to release a gigantic 99 pack of beer? That's sick. Bro, a 99 pack? That's sick, bro. A fucking 99 pack, bro. Shotgunning the 99 pack. That's sick. The 99 pack, bro. Yeah. I don't know if there's... I guess I can look on Twitter. See if there's anything interesting on Twitter. Probably not. I can imagine not. Mr. Larry. Mr. Larry. Oh, Mr. Burry. Just your daily reminder that stocks are expensive. GameStop isn't. GameStop's not expensive. I might read that Burry post. We'll see. Larry Chang! Usually better to have fewer people answering the 80-20 questions than tons of people answering the 99-1 questions. I don't know what that means, but... This is not Lara Croft. Oh, shit. What is this? A company's brand is what their customers say about them. Brian Long GME. Larry. Larry, why would you share that? I mean, it's about US Mobile, but isn't that just funny? Long GME? I think that's funny. Can have all 3 major carriers on your phone with US Mobile for less than the price of most single carriers. I feel like Larry Chang's invested in US Mobile. I don't know. I got a hunch. What does this Burry post say? To put it into context on my recent Fee-Fi for post, specifically the expected return discussion surrounding FISV, the difference between a 20% expected annualized long-term return on a common stock and a 10% one is logarithmic. The 20% return price can be 4x times the 10% expected return price and 8x the 8% expected return. I don't know what he means by that. This also explains why value investors look like idiots for extended periods. When a stock trading at the 8% expected return price, 160, falls to the 10% return price, 93, it is down 42%, and everyone assumes something is broken. To get to the 15% price, $38, it needs to fall 76% from the 160 level. At that point, the business is being treated as terminal. The 20% price is just where everyone wants to give up and go home. And we only see that in any widespread fashion, then everyone is indeed giving up and going home, like the 08 and 09 bottom and the second half of 2002. 2020 early COVID got close, but not like that. It's been a long time since it got like that. Value investors have looked like idiots for a long time. Adjust the PE correctly for SBC, depreciation, amortization, fixed capital leases, etc., and it gets worse. Okay. Okay, Burry. Okay. A longtime observer of GameStop. So you're not even an investor? You just tweet about the stock every day? Not surprised. Not surprised. Not surprised. Okay, nothing on there, not surprised. Yeah, maybe we'll get news one day. Like I said, though, like I was saying earlier, like, the longer the price stays low, the better. The more it... I mean, the fact that it hasn't really broke 20 is pretty positive in general, but just in general, the longer it sticks around these prices, the better. It's not a negative thing. I don't know why everyone sees it as a negative thing, but it's not. It's not. Would the Cineverse acquisition be something Ryan Cohen and the team would have to babysit or just buy the whole thing and let them run it for the most part? I feel like that would be the goal, is to buy it, get rid of the debt, and then just have the people run it. Because from what it looks like, it seems like the debt is what's screwing that company over. If they could just get rid of the debt and maybe even cut some financial stock compensation, it would be a profitable, growing business. But yeah, I don't know. I would imagine, you buy it, make it financially the best it can be, and then have the people who have been running it for the past 10, 20 years run it. That would probably be, the best option, but I don't know. Who knows if they would even buy it, Like, it's just an interesting idea, and I haven't seen many interesting ideas when it comes to GameStop. Most people's ideas, from my perspective, just aren't realistic. And it's like, that's an idea that, like, I could actually see. And there's very few things like that. Are there any new developments in the gaming space to make it more socially engaging? Well, you got a Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out here in like 9 months. That's gonna completely change the gaming space, most likely. So I would say, Grand Theft Auto 6, that's gonna be the number one gaming thing that's happened in who knows how long. Yeah, you could argue the Switch 2 was pretty big, but Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be insane. But that's the only thing I could think of. I don't think gaming is really changing at all. Streaming's parasocial, but probably the most significant impact on socialization of gaming. So that's fair. Yeah, streaming's for sure. Yeah, I agree. Streaming is very interesting. You know, there's a lot of games I've watched a streamer play that I don't really game, but if I was a gamer, I would probably go play it just because I saw that streamer play it. So I do agree with that, but streaming's not new. You know, streaming's not new. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a whole, like... Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a revolution, almost. You know? It's going to get people who haven't gamed in years to go back to gaming, reconnect with their old friends, reconnect with new friends. Like, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a massive change in the gaming industry. But, yeah, other than that, I don't really see gaming changing too much. I really don't. In-store card games are social, but not very exciting to watch. Yeah, but they're fun to play. GameStop had they had a Pokemon tournament like a few months ago, where you could win a Mega Evolution ETB or something like that. Maybe it was even a booster box. So, like, that's pretty cool, you know, to be able to throw an event where people can come play and compete for a prize in your store. Like, that's pretty cool. I agree it's not very exciting to watch, but someone new to the game, or maybe like a pro or someone who wants to get into the pro scene of those card games, they're going to watch stuff like that. And you know, people who love the game are going to go compete for an ETB or whatever, you know, a prize. So there's definitely a lot of benefits, or socially, for the card things. But I thought you were talking about just gaming. I don't really put like video games and like card games, and then like tabletop games like D&D. I feel like those are all like separate. Even though they're all gaming, I still feel like they're like separate categories. Can you play PS5 games within GTA? What? What? They can have pop-up competition, sales, merchandise, GME stores, pop-up stores. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know about pop-up stores, but maybe, you know, maybe one day there won't be any GameStop stores and they'll just do like random pop-up events. I don't think so. I don't really see that. I think you're always going to have GameStop physical retail stores around. But who knows, you know? Who knows? Card-based video games. Yeah. I mean, I've played a lot of Pokemon TCG online. And, yeah, Balatro. There's another one, I just can't think of it. Balatro is the first that comes to mind. But I wouldn't, you know, Balatro is not a card game you could go out in the real world and play. So though it is a card-based video game, it's still just a video game. Like, you can't play Balatro in the real world. I always wonder if there's a way for collectors to engage with their collectibles digitally, like you scan the card and then Pokemon appears in your game. That'd be kind of interesting, I think. We saw something like that, actually, recently. There was that Pokedex thing. That Pokedex, I don't know if I'd be able to find it again. Some dude made a Pokedex, and you could just, like, scan a Pokemon plushie, and it would put it on your Pokedex. But I don't think the Pokedex was a game. It was kind of just, it was kind of like a Pokedex. I don't really know. I don't know if I'd be able to find the news again. It wasn't that long ago, though. Pokedex. But they also have, you know, like amiibos. You know, you get the little amiibos and you put it on the thing and then it's in your game. So there's that. So they do have things like that. But I definitely get what you're saying, you know. Maybe have like a game type thing within the PSA vault or something. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know where that went. Oh yeah, world's smartest Pokedex. There was this. You could just, he scans the Magikarp and then the Magikarp's on your Pokedex. World's smartest Pokedex, capable of not only recognizing Pokemon, but giving you data about them from the games, acting as a voice assistant, and much more. There's a whole video on it. I never watched it. It's like 13 minutes long.
program works. Huh? What? Bunch of software features I had planned.
I just, yeah, I figured there would be a lot of music in that video, so I just didn't watch it on stream. But there is that, you know, that's something similar to what you're talking about, I guess. It feels like there's potential for someone like GameStop to step in and encourage development in that space. Yeah, but GameStop's, I think, you know, I think GameStop's focused on profitability and like the long-term financials of the business. I don't think they're trying to like create something new, you know? I don't think that's the goal. I don't think the goal is to invest in something new. I think the goal is to, you know, just create shareholder value. And how do you create shareholder value? Through profitability. And, you know, creating something new 9 times out of 10 isn't profitable. So I just don't. It would be cool, of course, but I just don't see them doing that. You know, maybe they buy the company that does something like that, for sure. But you create shareholder value by generating value for the customer? No. I disagree with that. Amazon doesn't provide value to the customer. You know, Amazon's sick, you know, you buy your shit and it's there a day later, like it's convenient, it's cool, but I disagree. Shareholder value is from profit. And I think, you know, you can just go to the balance sheet and that's proof. You go to the balance sheet, you know, go to Q2, you were sitting at 5,176,000,000 stockholder equity. You know, Q3 comes around, you make another 70 whatever. They made more than 70 million, but made a bunch more money. And now your stockholder equity is sitting at 5.3 billion. So you make you create shareholder value through profit. Because as the shareholder equity grows, the potential bottom of the stock should go up. You know, 5.3 billion stockholder equity is like 12, 13 bucks. When this is sitting at 6, 7 billion, you know, stockholder equity is going to be closer to $15, $16. That's stockholder value. Them creating something that doesn't make money, that doesn't benefit me as a shareholder. And revenue doesn't benefit me as a shareholder. GameStop's revenue's only been going down, and they've been increasing stockholder equity. So I think the revenue's not revenue doesn't bring stockholder value. If you're bringing in 10 billion in revenue and you're losing money, you're not bringing in stockholder value. If you're bringing in 5 billion revenue and you're actually making money, I would rather invest in a company that is making, 5 billion in revenue and actually profitable than a company pulling in 10, 20 billion in revenue that's not profitable, because that's not shareholder value. Profits are the only thing that matters when it comes to shareholder value. And keeping the stock price low through financial engineering by releasing bonds when the stock is trading at $30 and then the stock gets shorted to $20. That's shareholder value. Being able to buy the stock price or a stock that is potentially worth $30, $40 at $20, that's shareholder value. Because of GameStop's financial engineering, I'm able to buy the shares at a lower price. Like, that's shareholder value. To me, maybe shareholder value is different to you, but in my eyes, it's not really what everyone else portrays it as. Stockholder equity is just the assets, liabilities, the accounting equation worth a Google. I don't need to Google it. Stockholder equity is what you will get if the company ever went bankrupt. That's what your shares are worth if the company ever went bankrupt. And in my eyes, that's stockholder equity. If a couple years from now, the stockholder equity is at $9-10 billion, in my mind, I have zero risk in this stock. It's risky now. It's kind of risky with stockholder equity being at 12-13. But in the future, there might be no risk if you're looking at it through that. And yeah. And if you go look at a lot of stocks, they usually trade down off to their stockholder equity and bounce from there, or they just sit at that price because that's how much the shares are worth. So people will buy it at that price. But I don't need to Google that. Hey, you have a good one, Moose. Appreciate you, bro. Have a good weekend. I'll catch you on Tuesday. God bless, bro. Thanks for always supporting the stream. You might view stockholder equity as something different, but I don't view it like that. Stockholder equity is how much the shares are worth. And you get a premium because of other factors. And I think one of the best examples is Berkshire. Because I don't know exactly where it is on the chart, but somewhere down here, well, back when Berkshire was trading at 100,000, I think it was 08. You had the market crash of 08. Berkshire went from 150,000 to like 80,000. And if you go look at the stockholder equity back then to what the market cap of Berkshire was at this time, it was literally, the stockholder equity was what the share traded at. And then, the business continued to grow, yada, yada, what happened with Berkshire. But stockholder equity is potentially the floor of every stock in the market. The real floor, not the floor Reddit makes up. The real floor. Berkshire has Coca-Cola. What can GME pick up like that? Berkshire has Coca-Cola shares, I believe. I don't think Berkshire owns Coca-Cola. They just have shares. Pretty sure. You know, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they only have shares. It's not really like like Geico, where they actually bought Geico, and Berkshire owns Geico and operates Geico. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't think. I get what you're saying, but there's a big difference between investing in the actual business than buying shares on the market. And we talked about that earlier. Like the stock market, the daily stock price movement, whatever, the stock market, it's not in some ways it's correlated with the business, but the stock market is its own independent thing. So personally, I would rather see GameStop buy businesses, not buy stocks on the market. I really wouldn't want to see that. If GameStop's going to buy stocks on the market, they should just buy back shares. Not trying to argue with you. Increased profitability comes from combination of increasing revenue and decreasing expenses. Well, then what's happened with the last year of GameStop? Revenue's only gone down and they've increased profit. And of course, they've been decreasing expenses at an even faster rate, but there's no argument here. Revenue does not equate profit. If revenue equated profit, GameStop wouldn't have went from $1 billion a profit or $1 billion revenue a quarter to 500 million or whatever they're at and being even more profitable. And again, I'm not just talking. Like, we can go and check. We can go fact check everything I'm saying. Starting 2023. This is a 10K, but whatever. Is this 10K? Is this the 10K? I don't know what I clicked on. We'll just go off years. We'll just go off years. So in 2023, they lost 313 million with 5.9 billion in revenue. Well, net sales, whatever. Is net sales revenue? Pretty sure that's revenue. 2024 was their first profitable year. 6.7 million. 5.2 billion in revenue. That's a 700 million decrease in revenue, and they went from losing 300 million to making 6.7 million. Like, that's, it's not net sales revenue minus expenses. Well, there you go. Either way, they've been losing, or their revenue's been decreasing while becoming more profitable. So, increasing revenue doesn't always equate more profit. In a lot of ways, increasing revenue could be bad. In some cases, increasing revenue does increase profits, but it's not, it's the stock market's not, or business isn't black and white. The stock market's not black and white. There's a lot of gray area. You can't, I get what you're saying, but that's not always the case. And in a lot of cases, from my research of researching over 1,000 companies at this point, increasing revenue isn't always the best thing. Azuzu! What's up, Azuzu? Azuzu? Is Corey frozen? No, I'm not frozen. I'm here. I just barely saw you, bro. I just barely saw you. Hope you're doing good. I hope you have a good weekend coming up. Some combination of, oh, well, I missed that part. I was just trying to make a point, not, you know. In some cases, increasing revenue can increase profit, but in some cases, it's, you know, in some cases, it's better, probably in most cases, potentially, it's better to decrease revenue so you can cut expenses for more profit. We waiting for the clouds? We're on the same page. It's all good. Yeah. It's just, you know, business is a lot of factors when it comes to business. A lot of factors. Waiting for my nuclear-powered yacht. Bored Ape Yacht Club. Now that Lambo season. Nah, no Lambo season. It's not Lambo season yet. Not quite. We're still waiting. Lambo season has been put on hold for about a year now. About a year and a half. There were some moments where I thought Lambo season would be coming up, but it's like when it gets all cloudy outside and then it doesn't rain. It's kind of like that. You're like, oh, it's gonna rain. It's cloudy, and then it doesn't. Like, that's Lambo season. It's like, oh, is it Lambo season yet? Oh, I thought it was gonna be Lambo season this year. It's stupid. It's stupid. They told me it was gonna be Lambo season. Hey, peace out, Ruben. Have a good one, bro. Thank you for always supporting the stream. God bless you. Enjoy your weekend. I'll catch you on Tuesday. Tuesday. But yeah, I mean, back to the revenue thing. I think there will be a point where GameStop starts to increase their revenue again, and hopefully, you know, the profits will increase in tandem. But there's not always a guarantee of that. It's not always guaranteed. I would say cutting expenses is more important than I mean, it's definitely been shown through GameStop, but I would say cutting expenses is far more important than increasing revenue when it comes to adding shareholder value. I don't know why personally, I don't really understand why your average like market participant puts so much weight on revenue. Like, I've seen it a lot with GameStop, you know, because they've been closing stores and revenue's been dropping. But like, it just seems like a lot of people put way too much weight on revenue when it's in a lot, you know, declining revenue could indicate something bad for certain companies. But in GameStop's case, you know, and maybe, you know, there's probably other businesses out there that are cutting expenses and decreasing revenue and becoming more profitable. I'm sure there's something out there. But yeah, I would say cutting expenses is exponentially more important than increasing revenue. But yeah. Fun stuff, fun stuff. Pretty boring week, but good stream week. Decent stream week. Seems like there's quite a bit more people here than normal. They're closing stores. Naturally, revenue as a whole is expected to decline. Yeah, but the market doesn't see that. You know? The market doesn't see it that way. The market sees declining revenue and thinks it's bad. The market sees closing stores and thinks it's bad. They don't necessarily put the two together to see a good outcome, you know? Because in a lot of other businesses' cases, if you saw, you know, like, I don't know, I can't think of anything. You saw some, like, any other retail company, you see those companies closing stores or something, you would probably think that was bad. You saw, you know, like I don't know, Victoria's Secret's the first thing that pops in my mind for some reason, but if you saw them closing stores and their revenues declining, you would probably think that's bad. Unless their profitability was growing. If their profitability was growing at the same time, you know, that's where it's interesting. Because in a lot of cases, you know, closing stores and declining revenues would be bad, but when it comes with increased profitability at an exponential rate, you know, I don't think the market sees that. I think the market just sees stores are closing, revenues down, bad. They don't see the profit. Spot to sell the silver. Have a good long weekend. All right, Muma. Thanks for always supporting the stream, bro. God bless. Enjoy your weekend, bro. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy it. Much love. But yeah. I don't know. You know, it'd definitely help if I tracked like more businesses, because maybe I'd have more examples, but I just don't really. You know, I've looked at a lot of businesses and analyzed a lot of businesses, but I don't track businesses the way I do GameStop. Closing stores just seems like correcting the overexpansion from previous mismanagement. I mean, that's definitely a way to look at it. But closing stores could also, it could mean a lot of things. It could mean a lot of things, you know? Overinvestment. Well, you said that. Overinvestment, you know? The store's not profitable. Maybe the store is profitable, but it's not profitable enough. Like, I think closing stores could mean a lot of things. I do agree with you, though. It's definitely could be an overexpansion, but in a lot of cases, businesses aren't trying to shrink. Most businesses are trying to grow and expand their footprint. So, like, in a lot of cases, when you see a company closing stores, it's kind of a red flag. Kind of. Like, isn't Joann's on the market? Joann? No? It's not on the market? Isn't there... What company is it? I know there's a company on the market that's closing a bunch of stores, but I can't think of what it is. Whatever. I thought it was Joann's, but I thought Joann's was on the stock market. Maybe it got delisted or something. I don't know. But, you know, also, I think GameStop's like a unique business. I think a lot of other companies couldn't close stores and decrease revenue and become more profitable the way GameStop has. I think GameStop's very unique in that aspect. At least, you know, in the retail space, I guess. It's pretty unique. pretty unique. But I think it's time to get out of here, potentially. It's hard to be optimistic about anything brick and mortar. Gotta have a reason to show up in person when the inertia of staying home and shopping online is working against you. People like to go out, though. I literally went to the mall, like, last week, and there was so many people. People like to go out, you know? Not everyone wants to sit at home and be in front of a computer all day, every day. Especially if your job is being in front of a computer all day, every day. Like, it's kind of nice to get out and, you know, go see the real world and, like, see the physical product you're actually buying. There's definitely a lot of benefits to having brick and mortar. There's definitely a lot of benefits. It's just real estate is so expensive, bro. Like, renting out a space like that, that's like the big issue. I wouldn't say the issue is, you know, people staying at home and shopping online. I'd say the issue is the real estate being so expensive makes it hard to stay open. Like, that's the biggest barrier for me. Like, if I wanted to open a business of some type, it would be so expensive. And it'd be tough to make enough money to, like, be profitable on top of all the expenses. Consumer trend of the little treat economy? I've never heard of that. I don't usually follow stuff like that. I've never heard of that, though. I'm not a big trend guy. I don't really see stuff like that. I've never heard of that, though, like, legit. I've never heard of that. Little treat economy. Shift in consumer behavior where individuals prioritize small, emotional, and affordable indulgences over larger, more expensive purchases. This trend is driven by the desire for emotional relief and self-care during economic downturns. It's been observed in various sectors: beauty, care, wellness, fashion. Small items like lip gloss, candles, and affordable accessories are sought after as mood-boosting products. Little treat economy is not just a fleeting trend, but a long-term economic norm, reflecting the changing preferences of consumers in response to economic pressures. I could see that, definitely. I mean, that's probably why gambling's so huge, right? Because you can bet like $50 to $100 on a parlay and potentially make $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. You know, I definitely could see that. It's probably people can't afford houses and increasingly cars, thereby spending more on small quality purchases. Pokemon cards is a little treat. Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. Opening Pokemon cards essentially gambling, for sure. Yeah. It's worse, honestly, in my eyes. Opening Pokemon cards is worse than gambling because the potential gain of that small little percentage hit is not as high. It's really not. Like, I think in a lot of ways, I feel like gambling on slots is. Yeah, I guess it just depends, though. You know, some people like the physical product they get for their money. GameStop shooting themselves in the foot by scalping the cards. I've seen that opinion before, but nobody gives a good reason why they think that. So, how is GameStop shooting themselves in the foot by that? By being able to keep product on the shelves, and when it does sell, they make more margin. How are they shooting themselves in the foot by doing that? That doesn't make any sense. If you have a good explanation, I'd love to hear it, but I have yet for anyone to bring a good explanation for that. You don't believe in the inherent value of cardboard? I just look at you know, gambling differently. It's like if I'm gonna spend $1,000, $2,000 opening Pokemon cards and I'm only going to be able to pull some cards that are worth like a few $100, I'd rather take that $1,000, $2,000 to the casino on a slot machine and potentially make, you know, 20, 30, 50 to 100,000 off of the same odds. You know, the likelihood of you hitting a chase card is probably just as likely as hitting like a jackpot. So I just look at it as like, if you're going to waste money on something, at least the gain should be enough to make it worth it. That's, you know, that's how I look at it. It's not necessarily I don't believe in Pokemon or anything like that. I actually love Pokemon. I think it's a pretty interesting investment, but I just think if you're going to gamble, there's better things to gamble on. The only aspect I would say is you actually getting a physical product. So, you know, that's probably why the return isn't high. No matter what, you're getting something. Whereas if you lose on a slot machine or something, you know, your money just goes to zero and you get nothing. Maybe you get like a fucking steak from the buffet or some shit. So like, you know, you don't really get anything through like slot gambling, but just the expected return off of the unlikely outcome is way higher. People aren't going to buy from a co that scalps. That's your opinion. That's not reality. That's your opinion, not your reality. Because you could go on GameStop store right now and go through a lot of these. Yeah, you can buy that one. That's nice. But like the Super Prismatic here, this was sitting on the shelf for a while, and now you can't even order it. So people are buying. People are buying. If people weren't buying this, I'd still be able to add to my cart. So, like, your opinion that people aren't buying it from GameStop is not correct. It's not. You might not want to buy from GameStop, and maybe a lot of people don't want to buy from GameStop because of this, but people are still buying. So I disagree. I disagree. And it doesn't matter. This is quality product. It can sit on the shelves because this product is only going to go up in value most likely. So if nobody's going to buy it, eventually they will, because eventually it's going to go up in value. So I really disagree with your opinion. GameStop seems to be among the only retailers doing anything about scalpers. Yeah, and if you're a pro member, you're usually getting it a little bit cheaper than the scalpers anyway. Why buy a Charizard UPC from $185 when you go to Costco and get them for $85? Can you go to Costco right now and buy Pokemon right this second? No. But you can go to GameStop, or you can go on GameStop's website and buy Pokemon right this second. So, yeah, sure, you can get the UPC for $85, but you have to wait in line. The likelihood of you even getting it is extremely low, so you're paying for convenience. And also, people are scalping the product anyway, so if you really want the product, you're going to have to buy it from a scalper, most likely. So I really disagree. I really disagree. I think your opinion is relevant, but at the same time, it's just not reality. Because people will buy the product, and they're going to buy the product. If they can't get it anywhere else, and they can get it for cheaper from GameStop than they can on eBay or something, and it's actually, you know, from a legit store, not just from some random eBay seller, I think people are going to choose the GameStop option. And if you don't have the time to go wait in line and compete with all the fucking scalpers and all that shit, I think you're going to be willing to pay the premium. it's my reality because I stopped buying from them, as did my friends. Well, GameStop is a multi-billion-dollar company bringing in billions in revenue. So I really doubt they care about your you and your friends couple $1,000s that you aren't bringing to the store. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be rude, but your reality isn't the big picture. It's not your reality isn't the actual reality. Prismatic's most popular and can't get their hands on it, so Prismatic and exclusive Pokemon items will sell. Well, that box was sitting on there for weeks, and then randomly it finally wasn't able to order it. So I'm just saying, just because you're not buying from GameStop doesn't mean there's not thousands of other people that will. Or hundreds, whatever. Like, you're a tiny little sample size of a person. Like, I don't think that's relevant to the big picture. I'm just saying. It's really not. If nobody was buying from GameStop, they wouldn't be bringing in billions in revenue. Even while closing thousands of stores. Guess it depends on the consumer. A lot of people stop with Pokemon, One Piece, and Lorcana. Yeah, consumer behavior is a big thing. Consumer behavior is a big thing, for sure. But I would rather GameStop make the money from the scalping than some fucking nerd on eBay. Personally, I'd rather see GameStop make the margins, even if they're not selling product as fast. I'm not especially experienced in Pokemon card economics. Do all retailers have similar selections? Is the only differentiator price? Well, most retailers, well, the Pokemon market's card market in general is insane right now. So, most businesses will get a certain amount of supply. Costco, Walmart, there's a lot of companies selling Pokemon these days, but they'll get a bunch of supply, they'll promote it, a bunch of people will wait outside the door, the store will open, and they'll go and buy it all. And, like an ETB is probably like $70 to $80. Like, I'm just giving general, I got, everything's different, but, you're buying a ETB from Target or something for like $70, $80, and then those people will turn around and go and sell it on sell that ETB they bought from Target for $70, $80. They'll go on eBay or something and sell it for like $150 or $200 because nobody can get product for $70 to $80 because these sweaty scalpers are buying all the product for $70, $80. So like your average Pokemon participant isn't able to get the product for, $70, $80. So they have to go on eBay and pay $150 or $200. So, GameStop selling a $70, $80 ETB for over $100 is valuable. It really is. They might not be selling the product as fast or whatever, but that's high quality inventory that even if they get stuck with it, it doesn't matter. Like, a sealed Pokemon box is just as good as Bitcoin, as stocks on the stock market, cash. Like, having sealed product, even if you're not moving it, is extremely valuable. It really is. Because that sealed product could go up $100, $200 randomly, just like a random week or two in the market. A lot of those products could have gone up a lot. So I truly like I said, I've seen that opinion before, and I disagree. Like I said earlier, I'd rather see GameStop make the margins from the scalp than the scalpers, even if the product is sitting on the shelf, because, yeah, having sealed Pokemon product is valuable. And you said it yourself, you keep sealed product for investing. So GameStop not selling their sealed product isn't a bad thing. It's not. It's really not. Start allowing pre-orders again. Not open it for better returns, I agree. Prisons, I guess, let's see. Out of all the scappers, I'd take GameStop first. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm not especially experienced. Okay, Pokemon, the only thing I can say about Pokemon is it's similar to, like, I mean, it's not like stocks, because stocks have actual business behind them, but I would say Pokemon is very similar to crypto in a lot of ways. So if you can envision crypto, that's Pokemon, There's all these different cards to choose from, all these different boxes. Some $200 boxes have gone up to $500 or $1,000, but some $200 boxes are still sitting at $200 or $300. It's I would say Pokemon is very similar to crypto, but I would say Pokemon has way more value than crypto. Like I'm not a big crypto guy, so I think Pokemon has way more value than crypto, but it is kind of similar. It's kind of like NFTs in a way, if you really think about it. Card game, not just Pokemon, One Piece, Magic. It's very similar to NFTs, but physical. Closed all the non-profitable GameStops, 2 out of 3 in my area. Yeah, that's dope, man. That's great. I used to wait for the early morning releases until they went over MSRP. Well, that's fair, but that doesn't mean that's not a benefit for GameStop. Maybe GameStop doesn't want 30, 40 people waiting outside of their doors, because the card part of GameStop is, though it's becoming a bigger part of their business, it's not the only part of their business. So if someone going to GameStop to buy some video games or like an action figure or something, but there's 20, 30 people in the way of the door, that's not beneficial to GameStop. They have other products they need to sell, not just Pokemon. Keep sealed product for investing. Yeah, sealed product is an investment because of the limited quantity. Like there's only so many sealed boxes out there, and the more people open the sealed boxes and the less sealed boxes there are in the world, you should expect to see those sealed boxes go up in value. Invest in a few years. I bought Fusion Strike for 90. It's 1K. That's fire. Yeah, you've been in the game. You were in the game when it was good. You were in the game when it was right. They usually end up selling it for discounts when it sits longer than a quarter of the year. The same with ETBs. Then couldn't sell them in time and started off offering them under MSRP. GameStop? I don't know if I've ever seen that. Maybe like a few years ago, I could see that, but I don't know if I could see that anymore. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that. In GameStop's case. Maybe some eBay scalpers who have limited money, but I don't think I've ever seen GameStop do that. But I'm also newer to Pokemon. Like, I haven't been in the card world for that long. So, my opinions on cards are going to be quite a bit different from yours because it seems like you've been in the game for a while. I think that's the intelligence of midnight releases. Yeah, for sure. But most of the Pokemon releases weren't at midnight. A lot of the Pokemon releases were when the store opened. How do you feel about Ryan Cohen investing majority of profit into Bitcoin? I wouldn't say it was a majority of profit. It's only 500 million. That's not that much when you're looking at the overall when you're looking at the whole picture of GameStop's business, 500 million really isn't anything. But I don't like Bitcoin, and I thought they were going to invest more than 500 million, and I wasn't really happy about it, but 500 million in Bitcoin is honestly not that much for GameStop, so I don't like it, but it could be okay. It could be okay. I'll just be curious if they start taking like Bitcoin payments or something like that. That would be kind of interesting. But yeah, Bitcoin, I'm just not that big of a crypto guy. I don't really like crypto. But I mean, investing in GameStop with 500 million in Bitcoin, essentially, 5% of it, 5% of every share I buy is Bitcoin. So in some ways, if you're buying GameStop shares, you are investing in Bitcoin in a very small fraction, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. If Ryan Cohen sees value in Bitcoin, I guess I got to be forced to see value in it. Also, it's only 500 million. If they would have invested like 2-3 billion into Bitcoin, I probably wouldn't be that excited about it. Honestly, if they would have invested more into Bitcoin, I probably would have sold. But since it was only 500 million, I was willing to continue to hold. And at this point, I don't know if there's anything they could do to make me sell, but we'll see. Still pretty early into the investment, I would say. I know there's a lot of people that have been invested in GameStop since 2021, but I've only been invested for like a year and a half, so it's pretty early into the investment for me. When a certain set stops getting prints, that's when the sealed starts to dwindle and go up. Yeah. I'm fine with the Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. I just worry about all the companies that are raising money through corporate senior notes to buy crypto. It seems like the potential upside for Bitcoin isn't as high as a lot of people say. Just because if it never moves, Bitcoin continues to trade at this like 90 to 100K range for the next like 5 years, it's, all those companies that borrowed money for Bitcoin are probably going to be screwed. So I just don't know. I'm just not that bullish on Bitcoin, but I trust Ryan's. I just trust Ryan in that regard. I have a lot of money, so I couldn't get as much as I wanted. Hey, at least you got some. That's cool. That's cool to have those boxes. Collectibles in general just feel so... see, set the overnight they had a line at 9 p.m. Yeah, I've seen that. That shit's crazy. Nah, 500 million Bitcoin. Bitcoin and crypto being described as a solution in search of problem has rung true for a long time. That's a good way to put it. A solution in search of a problem. Although, you know, there's this book. It's called like The Internet of Money, I think. Bitcoin does have a use case. Yeah, The Internet of Money by Andreas Antopoulos. That book is really good. That'll give you probably like the best vision for Bitcoin. But that, you know, there's like, I don't know the exact percentage. I kind of forgot. I read that book a long time ago, but there's hundreds of millions of people, if not billions, that don't have access to like bank accounts or anything like that, but they have access to internet or, you know, Bluetooth or something like that. So Bitcoin could be a solution for those people, just because you don't need, you know, all you need to get Bitcoin is Bluetooth, I'm pretty sure. I don't even think you need internet. So for like third world countries that don't have access to, like I said, banks or internet or anything like that, Bitcoin could be a solution for those people. And not necessarily like for them to invest, but say you had a family member or something that lived in a third world country and they didn't have access to like a bank or anything where you could send them money, but they have a phone, you'd be able to send that person Bitcoin. And potentially, since they live in a third world country, you're like $20-$30 you're sending them in Bitcoin could be worth like hundreds of dollars to them. So, you know, Bitcoin does have use cases. I would, you know, if you ever are interested, read that Internet of Money book. It's actually pretty good. But yeah. There are use cases for Bitcoin. I've been saying for a while they should buy a gaming developer and start producing video games. You should have saw the first part of this stream, bro. We were researching. If you ever have time, go research Cineverse. GameStop just did a collaboration with them. And in my opinion, after all the research I've done, potentially GameStop could buy Cineverse. I don't know if they will, you know, but it's an interesting idea. It's not a game developer, but it's like a studio for like TV series and content creators. You could go research yourself, or when this stream ends, you could go to the part where I'm researching Cineverse. There's a lot of interesting things in the Cineverse. A lot of interesting things. They made one. I know I seen a bunny game. Like, oh yeah, I have it. I have it. Check it out. Buck the Bunny is this game. It's for fucking Game Boy. Well, mod retro, but you could play this on your Game Boy. Buck in the Cursed Cartridge. This is the game they came out with. I haven't played it. It's still sealed, but I had to buy it, you know, I had to support. But like, that's cool, you know? That's something cool that GameStop did, you know? They just made a video game. And it's not like a AAA game or anything like that, but the fact that they did something like that is really cool. You know, when the mod retro N64 comes out, what if GameStop makes a N64 game? That would be pretty sick. I think that'd be pretty cool. Little gimmicky, but proof of concept. I mean, it's a cool game. I've watched a little bit of gameplay. It's just it's just a Game Boy game, you know? It's just a Game Boy game. Nothing crazy, but it's cool. Probably paid a game developer to make that because I never heard of GameStop themselves developing games. Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think they developed it. But it's probably, you know, whoever makes the Mod Retro games. Because if you go to Mod Retro, they have a few, like, games that they've made exclusively for Mod Retro. So, you know, it's probably whoever made all these games. Because, yeah, they got 12 Mod Retro originals. I would imagine whoever's making these Mod Retro originals is who made GameStop's game. Because, I mean, it's literally right there. It's actually sold out on Mod Retro's website. That's kind of interesting. It's the only sold out game. Well, I guess Dragon Hymn sold out, but yeah, Buck and the Cursed Cartridge is one of the only sold out games on this list. That's actually pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. How many hours of Michael Saylor have you watched? I've watched when they were first, like, when there was first speculation of them buying Bitcoin, I was watching a little bit of Michael Saylor, but I don't watch Michael Saylor. People who say Bitcoin's gonna go to 1 million, I have a hard time putting any weight on anything they say. So I don't watch Michael Saylor. He has some interesting ideas and interesting thoughts on Bitcoin, but I'm not a Michael Saylor fan. It's probably true to me. I think they ought to take over the arcades that you find in AMC theaters, be GameStop's version of Dave & Buster's. I mean, if you can find the right deal and it's profitable, for sure. But I think the goal is to buy things that are more like digital. That's why the Cineverse was so interesting, because the only thing physical about Cineverse is where the movies play after they're made. I don't know if the goal is to make more like physical, or, you know, acquire physical type businesses. I think I don't know, you know, tough to say, but I think the goal is to try to stick to digital type businesses. Need digital wallet, but yeah, that's what I heard as well about crypto. Yeah, but from what I know, you don't need internet to create a digital wallet. Heard the stories about Bitcoin replacing the currencies of third world countries that don't have stable central banks. Maybe. Definitely possible, but I don't know. Come back to the beginning. I think it was more in the center of the stream, if I'm not mistaken. It'll be easy to find, though. It'll be easy to find. Or it should be. Have the squishy. Yeah, I got a few GameStop things. I got a bunch of shirts and stuff. I got some ugly Christmas sweaters that I got from GameStop. They got some fun things. Yeah, and I imagine they're making it exclusive to GameStop, and you can only buy the game from there. Well, you used to be able to buy it on the Mod Retro website, but as you saw, it's sold out. But you can buy it on the GameStop website still. It's not sold out on their website. I think the Buck the Bunny game is relatively charming. It's pretty cool. I think it's just cool that I think it just shows that they're willing to innovate and try new things, even though, you know, it's a Game Boy game. The Game Boy came out like 30 years ago. I still think it's pretty cool that they're willing, even if that game wasn't that profitable, or maybe they even lost money making it. I think it's just cool to see that they're willing to try things. I wonder if they made limited amounts. Yeah, I think so. You can still buy them on the GameStop website though. When the game first came out, they only released like a select amount. I got the second print run of the game, but I saw people were selling it for like $80 on eBay with a couple sales. Probably not anymore, but is the bunny on any speedrunning website rankings? I'm not sure. I saw someone did a speedrun on it on YouTube, but I didn't even know they had speedrunning websites. Like what? Speedrun.com? Buck and the cursed cartridge. Oh, look. Looky here. 1 month ago, Mayo Boy, 3 hours, 12 minutes, and 25 seconds. It's only one person. One person has speedran it, I guess. Interesting. I've thought about speedrunning that game. I just don't have a mod retro to play it, so never got to it. Cold wallet like a thumb drive, yeah. I think we talked about how hard it is to get the GameStop shirts and hoodies. Yeah, they don't have any of them, I don't think. I think the charming things that help rehab the company's reputation, the humor in the company's X account kind of doing the same thing. Oh, dude, their X account crushes, bro. Some of the posts, man, their X account be crushing. They got like 50 million views on that tweet or on that repost where it's just like $4 in-store credit to that guy's collection. Like, that's crazy. That's some crazy amount of views just for like a 5-word post. Maybe I should invest in a Bucks the Bunny game if you want to. You know, who knows? Who knows if it'll actually go up in value or not, but you never know. You never know. Speedrunning is a whole gaming subculture. Oh yeah, I know that. I know the speedrunning. I just didn't know there was like websites that kept track of that type of stuff. I didn't know that. KCR! What's up, KCR? All the OGs left. All the OGs left, KCR. It's me and some new guys. We're just chatting it up. I hope you're doing good though, bro. Hope you're doing good. Might be a cool thing to stream, speedrunning it with the folks in chat. Yeah, I've thought about it. I just don't have a mod retro, and I don't plan on buying one anytime soon. I kind of like having the sealed game, though. Just the SGs. It's late here in Belgium. New climbing school season is starting tomorrow, so I better get sleep. Oh, hell yeah. Well, enjoy, KCR. Enjoy. Thanks for stopping in, bro. Have a good rest of your day. Or night, I guess I should say. Enjoy your school, bro. Enjoy it. Still here listening, but having the worst headache. Ah, that sucks, Rosh. Hopefully it gets better. That sucks. Headaches are the worst. Climbing school, yeah. KCR is like a climbing instructor. He's a climbing instructor in Belgium. He's been around for a while. We're worldwide here at the Roaring Corey YouTube channel. We're worldwide. We got people all across the world. No, like rock climbing. You know, like a rock climbing gym. Rock climbing wall. Know what I'm saying? I don't know how much longer I'm going to be streaming, though. You guys have just... We had some good conversations there for a little bit. Some good Shout out to Chris. Brought in some good conversation. And Grady's been like running the, I mean, he's number 2 most typed person in the chat. Been running this chat today. So shout out to Grady, bro. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for bringing some conversation. It's nice to have some, it's nice not having to do everything myself. A lot of the times I'm the one who has to go and find the news article to talk about or come up with the topic to talk about. It's nice when people in the chat bring topics. It's definitely helpful. They make fake rocks for people to climb. They really evolved the bedrock business. Wait, are you being serious? You've never seen a rock climbing wall? Are you being serious right now? You gotta be joking. I feel like you're joking, but you've never seen a rock climbing wall? Okay. Oh, you know what rocks are? This would just be like something like this. You're just climbing. You just climb up this thing with these fake little, like, well, I mean, they're to imitate like real rock holds, but yeah. I'm not a climber, so I'm not very good at explaining this stuff. Should we check Reddit, see if anything got posted for the weekend? I imagine no. This guy's asking for the Bury GME part 1, but it's funny because I made that video, or I streamed about it, and someone in the stream posted it on here, and everyone shit on it. Everyone shit on it. Everyone shit on that I made a video reading Bury's post, but now he paywalled it. And now people are wondering where it's at. Isn't that funny? Isn't it funny? You're in Bury's Substack? Really? You pay for it? That's dope. There's a few articles I want to read in there, but unfortunately, I'm just not willing to pay for it. That's pretty cool, though. I bet there's some good reads on there. That's awesome. Hopefully he doesn't paywall the new GME post whenever it comes out. That would suck. Hopefully not. Some of it's pretty dense, yeah. That guy can write, bro. That guy has a lot to say. He's an interesting character. Very interesting character. I don't mind Bury. I don't necessarily agree, you know. I don't necessarily agree with a lot. Well, I wouldn't say I don't agree with his opinions. It's just being short AI and tech right now is so risky. But maybe it'll work out for him. Who knows? Maybe it'll work out for him. Just from my experience in the stock market, people who are bearish tend to get clapped. So that's, you know, that's the only thing. Like he's got good ideas and interesting opinions, but just from my experience, bearish people usually don't do that well in the market. But I mean, Bury has a track record, so he's done extremely well. So, you know, you can't really say that about him. Short positions really isn't that big. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You're right. It really isn't. I guess, you know, if it was bigger, it would show that he was more confident. He's confident enough to place a bet, but he's not confident enough to go all in. I'm number one now. What do I win? Who was number one? Muma? I mean, that's a first, honestly. Usually Muma's the one who owns the chat. Usually. But nah, that's just like a weird feature that YouTube added. I don't even know, like, a lot of the times it doesn't even seem accurate. But that just means you've typed a lot today. Type more than Muma, which is very rare. Most people don't type in the chat more than Muma. He's usually the chat ruler. The ruler of the chat. The motor, as some would say. The chat's motor. Work is slow. What do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking? Bitcoin's still at 95. I really doubt there's any new news. What? Labor Department accused of echoing Nazi slogan? What? What the fuck? That's fucking weird. That's weird. I don't want to read that. I just think that's weird. Trump to pardon ex-Puerto Rico Governor Vasquez. I don't know who that is. Medical claims negotiations. Pretty boring. Counting background. Well, that sounds kind of cool. Sounds kind of cool. Nick Shirley? I don't know what that is. Nick Shirley. Counting somehow more boring. I like numbers and stuff, so that doesn't sound boring to me. I'd probably have fun being an accountant. Who's Nick Shirley? Daycare fraud? I've never heard of this. Where's a good website to read about it? Wait. He committed the fraud? Oh, he's not he unveiled the fraud. Okay.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going.
Ah. Nah, I've never seen this. 51 minutes? Damn. Oh, he has 3 parts. Wow. Nah, I've never heard of this guy. This is the first time. That's pretty interesting. Maybe I'll check that out. I'm not gonna watch it on stream, but he had a pretty embarrassing interview though. He looked kind of dumb. Well, I mean, he is just a YouTuber. He is just a YouTuber. You know, he's just trying to do what YouTubers do. But yeah, I've never heard of this guy, so I'll probably watch that. Probably watch that over the weekend. Shirley? Calling me Shirley? Damn, he's been making videos for a while. Yeah, first time I've seen this. First time I've seen this. He blew up uncovering this stuff. Ah. It looks like he had some videos do pretty well before that. He had some videos do okay. Yeah, maybe I'll check that out over the weekend if I remember. That looks kind of interesting. Thoughts on the Kevin Gill tinfoil? I don't really have any thoughts on it. I think it's I don't know. It's interesting all the things that happen outside of GameStop when the price gets closer and closer to $20. Like, it almost seems like you know, the timing with a lot of news or, you know, random things like Kevin Gill. The timing correlated with the price action is what's interesting, but Kevin Gill himself, I don't really have any opinions on. And I also I don't have Instagram, so I haven't been following like all the posts, so I don't know like everything that he's posted. But all I can say is the timing of a lot of those things when you compare it to like price action. That's what's interesting. Hit's hilarious. Personally never heard of him before. This goes back to 2000s. It's actually a pretty nice tin right now. The timing. Really? Yeah, I'll check it out over the weekend. Not a movie guy. Not really. Not really, honestly. Not a big movie buff. But I just in general, I'm not a tinfoil guy. Like, I've been a day trader for years. I've been in the stock market for years. So like, it's hard for me to put any value on tinfoil, or, you know, it's hard for me to put value on most things people talk about when it comes to the stock market or business or anything like that. So I don't put a lot of weight on that stuff in general. Just because, you know, I live in the price action. Like, that's where a lot of my early conviction came from before I even started to research the business of GameStop. Like, I live in the price action. I can't put any relevance on tinfoil or, you know, I just can't. You know, the timing of some of the stuff with the price action, that's interesting, but if it wasn't for that, I'd probably not even like pay attention. Movies are great. Go watch Shawshank Redemption. Almost perfect movie. I don't think I've seen that. I don't mind movies. I just I'd rather do something else. I'd rather like if I'm gonna sit and watch a movie for 2 hours, I'd rather watch like a documentary or learn something new. You know, maybe watch like something like that Nick Shirley thing where you learn about like a fraud, or like I like learning about things. Like, so, you know, it's just I'd rather put my time elsewhere than watching a movie. That's really all it is. I don't it's not like I don't like movies or anything like that. I'd just rather put my time elsewhere. I get it. I can only read nonfiction. Yeah, I like reading too. I mean, it's been a while since I've read a book, but I like reading. I like reading. I like reading, like, I don't know, I'm weird. I like reading, like, stock stuff, and it used to be, like, a lot in gambling. I used to like reading about, like, gambling and stuff a lot, but I just haven't read a book in a while. Nothing really I want to read. I've been pretty boring lately, I'll be honest. I've been pretty boring. Usually I just find myself reading, like, news, you know, like breaking news. I mean, that's mainly what this stream is. I just hop on here and see what news there is. Like, that's like majority of where my reading is these days. It's just reading news, even though a lot of it's like completely irrelevant and dumb. But I just like being updated with the world. I like being updated with new things that are happening. Nothing exciting, bad for your brain? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm still learning stuff on a daily basis. I guess it's just different. I like having I like peace. I like having peace in my mind, so you know, that's what I aim for. Too much news makes me irritable. I just enjoy it. I enjoy reading news. I enjoy keeping updated with the world, so like, you know, it doesn't make me feel any way emotionally when I see like a headline I don't like or anything like that. So maybe it's just the different mindset going into it. Like I know why news is so big is it makes people react. But it doesn't that's not really what it does for me. For me, I just like reading stuff. Like OpenAI is bringing ads to ChatGPT. Like, I don't give a fuck about ChatGPT, but you know, that's an interesting thing to know, you know, interesting thing to read about for a second. Like, that's just, you know, one example that's right in front of my face, but calling it quits on work later on. Oh, you're out of here? All right, bro. Well, it was good chatting. I hope you have a good rest of I hope you have a good weekend, bro. Hopefully we'll see you again next week. Sometimes I'll do streams over the weekend, but I usually only stream during the weekday. But I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you bringing in some conversation, and yeah, bro, all love. I hope you have a good weekend, bro. God bless. I'm gonna get out of here too. I don't think there's really anything to talk about at this point. Nothing really. There was really no news anyway today. But yeah, researching the Cineverse thing was kind of fun. That was fun. So we'll see if we'll see if anything happens with that. I'm not really expecting anything, but it's an interesting idea. But yeah. So I'm gonna get out of here as well. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all supporting the stream. All the lurkers out there. All my OGs. Thank you guys for supporting the stream always. If you're new here, thank you for giving the stream a chance and giving it another try. I appreciate you. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a good weekend. God bless ya. Peace!